Hey everybody, this is Grimcad, and we are back with some more D&D Wednesdays. Still haven't thought of a title. I think that's now the running joke. I am Grimcad, I am your DM. Pleasure to meet you. Let's real quick run down the line. Everybody can say hi. Janeon.
Yo!
Guts.
Good morning.
Rick.
Hello there.
And Tadpole.
Salutations!
And Adrian.
Hello.
So we've had a 2 weeks off, 1 week off, something like that. It's 2 weeks off, yeah. So it's been quite a while since we've played, and gosh, I know I'm certainly ready to get back into it. Some exciting things happened not yesterday, obviously, but several weeks ago. We have started our exodus from the city with a good chunk of the city in tow. We happened to find out that we were running in the direction that either the Kuthrik were running from, or that they were trying to get revenge on us and head us off at the pass. We're not entirely sure what happened, but sure enough, we ran into each other. We had sort of a massive fight with a whole lot of the Kuthrik. Probably something around 40 of them, although we managed not to fight them all at one time, which is pretty lucky for us. We found the great big brain bug, as it were. Thanks to some incredibly speedy footwork on behalf of Tadpole, we managed to kite it around for a little bit, doing a ton of damage. Eventually the rest of the party showed up. Fireball took pretty swift work of some of the larger ones. And then we had a slog between the rest of them. The rat folk showed up, frankly, more or less a little bit too late. They got in a couple of good hits towards the end, but at that point I'm pretty sure you guys had it hand in hand. We're going to be picking up pretty much right there, which is where we left off, with the Kuthrik now dead, everyone else sort of milling around. Excuse me.
It's a nice mill we got here.
Huh?
It's a nice mill we got.
It's a nice what I got?
Mill. We said we're milling around.
Don't encourage him, people. Don't encourage him.
Don't encourage the bad pun.
The one thing that we did do before it died is you cast your... Gosh, I don't know what it's called. Your... Don't Rot spell.
Don't Rot spell.
On the largest, the Queen Kuthrik, or presumably the Queen Kuthrik.
And if we have time, I'm doing it on the rest of them too.
I'm breaking down some of them for food and
Keep at least one or two of the hive
supplies.
Right. The rat folk are sort of going off and doing their best to herd the rest of the townsfolk. They want to sort of bring it close to them to see, hey, look, this is a threat. They also want to let it be known that there are more of these things still coming. Whether there are or not, probably unlikely, but, well, if they're running from these things and you just killed them, well...
Sort of seems like we would be.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the greatest. So the question is, what are we going to do with these things? So I know Adrian has certainly cast the repos on the largest one. But really the question is how are we going to get these things from point A to point B?
Well, like I said, I'm basically just breaking down these two over here into meats and craftables.
Okay.
Oh, wait, are these two ours or the rat folk get them?
I don't remember. I know they brought one down at the very least. I don't think they brought both down. I think Rick wound up getting the last hit on one.
Hey, Rick, you carry that one.
I
Okay?
punched the last one, so it was just knocked out.
No, remember they were capturing the one.
They were.
Yeah.
I know.
And the rat folk wanted to capture the last one, and I walked up and punched.
You did. That's right. It's actually still alive.
Okay, Janeon, can you save this one at least?
Yeah.
Well, that means we're going to keep this X from around it. In theory, if I can do that, that is a thing I can do. Maybe not. Oh. So we've got one of these things that's alive, actually, although seriously damaged. It's wrapped up in a net. I remember that was, and I can see by the little icon. And pretty much Kives would be just throwing layer of net onto these things. He knows they're big. He knows they're strong. Hopefully this will do something about it. So there's sort of an amendment to what the rat folk are doing. They're working on binding this thing as best they can. Sort of as
Would it help if we debladed it?
I'm thinking blinding it too.
But because they use tremor sense, so that won't do anything against stopping it or anything like that.
Can I go and get a spoon and pop its eyes out?
I think they can be.
If you were looking to do sort of physical harm to it, Kives would attempt to stop you from doing it. Now, he would, he wouldn't fight you, but he would resist you to the point where he is getting physical, hands on your arms as you're going forward with swords or spoons, in this case.
What is, you have to remind me why Kives does not want us to blind it.
Kives is the you wouldn't actually know at this point. Come to think of it, everybody else but you would pretty much know. He'd tell you to stop. He's like, don't hurt it, don't blind it anymore. It can still be of use to us later. With a little bit of training, it would be fine.
I'm going to insight the guy. Is he actually believe what he's saying?
Good. He does. Not only does he believe it, but he's confident that he can eventually train this thing to do whatever. Whether that's true or not, big shrug. But he sure seems to think so.
Oy.
Confidence is key.
Idiot.
Blinding, it really won't do anything, though. Like I said, they have tremor sense.
Okay, so Rick, you can carry this one.
Just hurt it.
How much do they weigh? I can't get an exact amount, but I'm saying can weigh
A
up
lot.
to.
They're large. Probably these larger ones, which are the Hive Lord, are in excess of a ton. And the Big Mama is probably in excess of 5 tons.
I wonder what the Mordekainen says.
So we casually just beat up an M1 Sherman.
Finally, shall we just harvest the queen or something and keep the high boys? Because I can do something. But I can't move the queen, you know what I mean?
Well, now here's the thing. I mean, you do have plenty of hands to attempt to help you move it. You could sort of gang press them into helping you. It's just, you have to convince them to do it.
Do it or you die.
But we're the heroes. We can
If we could tell them that if we take these with us, it'll protect us for the journey, because they'll see that we've defeated them.
Persuasion with advantage, please.
You want me to do it?
Well, I want Rick to do it.
Aw.
Rick's the one talking.
Who let him talk?
Wow, who let me talk?
I want to cut up behind Rick. I'm going to add on to his, what he means is, everybody, that the sight of the recently slain kin will drive them off a bit as they're more hesitant to attack. Also,
Pheromones, motherfucker!
Also, it should give you a decent entrance as a kind of, entering price into our city to show, hey, we're running from this kind of shit. Also, here we have a giant bug, Queen. You know what I mean? A giant bug.
All right, go ahead and roll as well.
Sweet +4. E.
Okay, and what I will do...
Their disadvantage, they might have lost to Rick.
Give them disadvantage. We're gonna say they're convinced enough that they will help with it. Now,
They're only carpenters, for the love of God.
carpenters? Yeah, sure. Without too much. This is a small town medieval society. Everybody's fairly handy. As it comes to things like that, they gotta, do your own thing. The question is there enough ropes and all that? And, for the sake of what's going on, we're gonna say yes. And I'm not gonna, make you count out all your rope. Alright, so both Tadpole and Janeon are working on butchering things, and they manage to do it fairly well. Now, Joel comes up to you as you're working, and this is both butchering and attempting to create, whatever you're doing to move this thing, whether it be like roller logs or a gigantic cart of some sort or something like that. This is what's going on when he comes up to you. And
This goblin head kind of just pokes out of one of the torsos as he starts talking.
I'd like to think that both the smaller members are like neck deep in these things.
Oh, if by neck deep you mean like Luke on Tatooine, not Tatooine, fucking
Pretty much,
Paul.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're having to crawl inside it to butcher it and all that.
carving from the inside
That's where the
out.
best stuff is. That's right.
Exactly.
That's where the tender parts are at.
These two small heads just poke out. We're gonna have to be leaving pretty soon. We don't want everyone else to get restless. And the illusion that we need to get going is, well, prevalent. I can't talk. Prevalent. Look, you know what the word is. Regardless.
Having problem Englishing today?
Very much so. Probably
Like
it's
having a
not enough
stroke.
coffee.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure, that's it.
We're gonna have to get going. Grab what you can and let's move. And between the two of you, without much trouble, you've gotten
Mind you, keep on.
200 pounds of the choicest Kuthric cuts that
Yes.
you can get.
Right, we've got about 3 days to get back to the city before it
both
has
of
to
you.
be masked.
No, I can preserve it, remember? It's me.
Oh yeah.
You guys are gonna be eating overgrown cockroach. Sounds great.
Not us.
That's wonderful.
I mean, some of
Aliens
it.
ain't much worse. Much, much worse.
Yeah, some of it Janeon will eat, but I'm thinking of, putting some of it into the restaurant.
I mean, you can also sell it. I bet someone
To be honest,
What are you talking
Exactly.
about? This is beef. Wink, wink.
The rot-on meat
It
is
would
just
be.
flavor, anyways.
Right? What do we
Yeah,
call
it's
it would
beef.
it would be nice muscly, quite strong, mate. You could probably pass it off as beef.
This is assuming that they aren't full of jelly cuts, like a bug would be.
They're not. They're more meaty.
Ah, nice.
They're more in the magical
honest,
realms.
with all the, I know a prime sale we could make off of this. You know who I'm talking about?
Yep. Well, Moria's about completely loaded up from this adventure now, so let's go.
Searching-
Yeah, there's a lot of beer too.
Man.
I completely forgot
Yep.
about the beer. But yes, we're now moving again, although we are moving much slower.
Quite slow.
Yeah.
Got the creed in one high, right?
Say that again?
We got the creed in one load, right?
Yes. You mean dead or?
I mean, we're taking them with us, the two corpses.
Okay, we can do that. I wasn't quite sure what you meant, but yeah. And there's happens to be a living one that's been, sort of
Also dragged along.
jerry-rigged like onto a cart or something. I mean, the rat folks' cart aren't really being used for much. They were not very big into the resource gathering or anything like that, so they're certainly being pressed into service too. There are some people on the carts, older or sickly. They're not quite at the, cut them stage at this point. But as I said, you are moving, but you are moving much slower. You had moved for about a day previously, and it was estimated that there were 2 days' journey ahead of you. But now, you think it's going to take you somewhere between 3 and 4 days to get back at the rate that you're moving, because you happen to be going very slowly. The things that you're seeing on your journeys back are much different than the way you went forward. When you were coming out, and certainly those of you, Tadpole, you would have known what the terrain looks like. Flowing grassland. There were these rabbits that have the ability to teleport basically everywhere. As you can imagine, something like that doesn't have a lot of natural predators. But the closer and closer you get to the city, the more things have changed. Everything that could conceivably be a resource has been pretty much picked clean. They're rocks, they're gone. Large boulders, gone. Even some of the soil, the sod, has been cut up and is gone. There are some people still working that you're passing by as you're heading onto your city that are basically working on filling wheelbarrows with dirt. And there's long lines of which you presume to be other companies just moving these long lines of dirt. And you're getting a lot of stares from people.
How's it going, guys? What's up?
It's still pretty sparsely populated, but there's definitely a lot of people with a lot of interest. And when they start to see who it is, and this isn't towards you, this is more towards the rat folk, there is some fairly open animosity towards it. They're not really doing anything to stop you, but when they're seeing you, they're starting to curse, they're starting to spit. They're being a bit rougher towards the people in the group who are coming forward.
Rick, go flex your muscles.
Yeah, I'm about to do that. Is Is anyone like
Like,
approaching any of our new slaves or anything like that?
For the most part, right now, they're keeping their distance.
I'm gonna make it very apparent that we're not to be fucked with. Like, the first person that goes near our group looking like an asshole is just gonna get fucked. Like,
Okay.
I'll attack them.
yeah.
Threaten them at least.
They want to be dicks, I'll be a dick back.
Gotta make those sausage drinks somehow.
Yeah, people definitely would, and this is more sort of a second day of it, because again, you're moving quite slowly. People would attempt to come up, and they're coming up to speak with the people. But they're certainly coming up to speak with, some pretty poor intentions. Let me get a perception check from anyone who wishes to, I don't know, sort of guard these folks.
I'll go. Yeah, 20.
Yeah. As you come up, certainly Janeon would notice. Rick, they're talking or attempting to talk, shout. They're definitely they're shitting on the city, basically. They're saying it's definitely a terrible place. Whatever happens, they don't want to go there, and that they'd be much safer here with them. Just look at them. They're vermin. They're giant rats. Throwing their lot in with those people is definitely a terrible idea, and only a slight bit of common sense will tell you that.
I just kind of point out to the townsfolk that we're herding along that they're just sore losers, and they're just picking scraps off the land while we've saved a town. We're going to be hailed as heroes, and you're going to have somewhere safe to live. They're offering you the same place, but they've done absolutely nothing themselves.
Yeah, if I'm going to go through the crowd waiting, so I'm like, yeah, don't worry about them. They'll just, I'm sure you had the same reactions when you saw them the first time. They're just racist bastards.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to divide this basically into two groups, and if you want to do something else, you can. People who are going to be, because I imagine there's going to be two things that are going to be happening. There's going to be a group of people attempting to persuade everyone what's going on, we're the good guys, we're trying to get you into safety. And I'm going to need a persuasion from you and a deception from you.
Got you and me. Let's sing this place up. Also, can I get bardic inspiration, please?
And then
Yes,
I
absolutely.
imagine there's going to be a group that's actively seeking out these groups of other company folk who are going to be, talking their smack. And I want 3 checks from them. I want a persuasion, I want an intimidation, and I'd like that deception. And so I'm going to give you a chance to figure out which group you would want to be in. Because you would know, what you're best at. If you're a natural liar, you know that you'd, naturally want to lie. If you're a big, scary person, you'd much rather be a big, scary person. And of course, if you don't wish to do either, you do not have to do either. I kind of imagine Tadpole doesn't have much of a stake in this one.
Yeah.
No, I've got a decent reputation with the townsfolk at least, so I'm definitely going to be working with the townsfolk.
Okay.
Guts,
And can I just give advantage to people, because the only thing I don't have a negative stat for any of those rolls is intimidation.
What we're doing is we have a basic DC that we're trying to look to hit. You would be much better off rolling.
Well, I'll do with the intimidations then. So that was a deception, intimidation, and
Persuasion. So let's get the
Persuasion.
rolls from those folks first.
Alright, so that's gonna.
Yep, that's the 3 I want.
did I just win it for us off that?
No.
Well, you
But they're not terrible rolls.
So, man, Rick, are you fending people off too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it conflicts with me.
Roll intimidation with strength.
Weird flex, but okay.
As well as deception and persuasion, Rick.
E.
Oh, damn.
Oh, persuasion, not perception.
Okay.
Well, they're gonna
whoops.
believe our lie.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. I probably said perception. I do
That
have
one
a
is
time.
perception.
I got you.
That's
Yeah,
persuasion. There you go.
even better. All right. And then from the other group, please.
Okay. What's your
Which is just
inspiration?
deception and persuasion.
I would also like to
I am very intimidating.
Adrian bardic inspiration, and
Okay.
I'll probably do this just by lightly noodling on the fiddle, not like with the bow, but kind of, you know how some people just pluck the strings.
Sure.
You'll be telling a wonderful folk story about the city.
So you get a d6, Adrian.
I know this. And I'm gonna go with this. I'll make my persuasion a 14. Tadpole's carrying us.
And from you,
God.
Guts.
Ooh, that bard.
Yeah, which is a good thing. So between all of you, you managed to hit a 167, and our DC that we were looking for was 150. So
Oh god.
you successfully have managed to convince the townsfolk that, you know, you're obviously to be trusted. These people, they don't have any kind of say in this matter. You were there, you protected them. Everyone saw you do it, especially at the end. Everyone else, you know, who knows what their deal is, but it's certainly not probably pleasant. They're likely, you know, kidnappers. Or something along that nature.
They're looking to take advantage of you.
Imagine being
How much
people
further
like
from city are we now?
We are about a day's away from the city now. It's taken us 3 days extra, pretty much. Things are looking, you know, pretty desolate. But things are starting to stink. Not our stuff, mind you, but there's definitely a smell wafting in from the direction of the city.
Oh, we know what that is.
Now, most of you, are from the city. You know what that is. But the rest of the crowd doesn't. And the rest of the crowd is starting to get antsy. Question for Tadpole. Out of everyone in the group, who would you say you typically stay the closest to?
Oh, Guts, of course.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep. Because she can hold my bag of holding without anybody knowing.
Uno momento, por favor.
And fellow females,
yes.
girl power.
Females rise up.
That's right. I am woman, hear me roar.
Femurs rise up.
New ones, but all for Wednesday, September.
Adrian,
September's fine. It's
What?
not September yet.
we need to start casting
August.
prestidigitation.
Yeah, I took pictures of them.
Okay.
On
You
the
can have
entire
yogurt
city.
if you'd like.
No, not on the entire
Papa,
city,
Grandma
just
goes
on our
somewhere?
group.
They're getting me Arby's, but Grandma said, but it'll feel off.
Just make it not smell anymore for the civilians.
Okay. Well, if you're saying you'd like a yogurt right now to tide you off,
Hey,
until
everyone
the
knows you're
food,
taking
you
a shower. Line up.
You have it as a cantrip as well, eh?
It's a cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you and me can basically just be at the head of the group, just casting it ahead of us every hour.
Instead of going through a metal detector, you're going through a precipitation detector. Just walking them through.
Well, no, it's more we're active for breeze at the start of the crew.
We're just finger gunning everything.
So Chol comes to Guts and is attempting to speak silently with you.
They show Undercommon.
Do they?
Yeah.
They do. Well, he would definitely be speaking in Undercommon then, on the hopes that Tadpole does not also speak Undercommon. I see you've grown quite attached to the smaller one. You know what's going to happen when we get into the city. You should probably give her this to help things go easier. And he reaches into his pack and he pulls out what looks like an incredibly elaborate liquor bottle of some sort. You know, it's about that size, 750 milliliters. You should make sure she drinks that down. You know what's going to happen. It'll make things easy on her. She won't feel a thing if it happens.
It's an Estus flask.
I love stampedes. Oh god, how big is the gate we're going in? Which one are we going in again? The other one?
The main
right?
one. No.
We went back there.
We go on this. Yeah, we went out the side way. Although,
Yes.
coming in, we might need to go in the main gate.
They send people ahead of time. That's
Which way?
part of what Vex was doing. She was telling everyone we're coming back this way.
Ah, okay.
Is it as big as the other gate if we have all these people?
It is not as big as the other gate.
Yeah.
Tadpole gonna get that lean.
And then Chol comes up to you, Adrian. He goes, I'm not quite sure how your arts work, but can you cast the sleep spell?
Yeah.
Good. I've arranged for a reception there at the gates once we get people inside and out of the gates. But I'd also like your help as well. When we get there, when we give the signal, I'd like you to constantly cast sleep on our goods.
Okay. Let me just look at this real quick.
Holy shit, wait for the top 10 anime betrayals coming up, though.
I mean,
The
like,
second we get to
Top
that
10
gate,
anime.
the second we get to that gate, it's just gonna be fucking flashcards and
doors
metal
and
boards.
close, and knocking them all inside.
We'll
That's a
need to
disappear
pack
office that might
everyone
never be seen again.
as tight as we can inside the gates as well. Make sure, and he's more or less talking to the entire group, make sure people don't stray too far. And if they do, well, it's your job to incapacitate them. Do we all pretty much understand what we're going to be doing here?
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Do I have enough hit points left yet?
Alright, let's bob some heads.
So, we make our way towards the gate. And things take a while to populate with
Hey, look,
tokens.
it's the Lord of the Tribunal, Vivek, and his best buddy, not Vivek.
Yeah.
And things are rough. Many of you would probably never have seen the waste gate when it's been in use for a while on a plane, because it's certainly not the thing that's done. But you can smell it long before you reach it.
I'd like to make a point to anyone that listen. To be fair, guys, we're going in the back gate, if you know what I mean. Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink.
Now, you've known that there's been issues inside the city for quite some while as it comes to, well, frankly, slaves doing their job, as it comes to waste and all that being removed from the city. But even with that going on, you can see piles of trash mounds of bodies, pretty much everything that you could think of, waste, feces. If it's something that nobody wants, it's got to make its way out of the city somehow, and it just tends to get dumped.
I'm surprised those bodies, considering what you said earlier about the issue with them.
I have to admit, the crowd's not making for a good first impression.
Yeah. Definitely, it's not a good thing.
Our guts.
Give them a heads up.
Play the "We're Going Through the Rectum" song.
This city is evil incarnate, isn't it?
It's not great. I think it's, like any other city.
We're just going in sewers, basically.
Think of the party it spawned. What they've done already. What they're about to do.
It's a
Tadpole's
shitty
right
city.
the entire time. It was just a shitty city.
So, Chol goes first, and he motions for everyone to follow him. Now, at this point, it takes some convincing, and everyone else is sort of doing their job. Like, look, we understand what's going on. This is the back way through. Of course, it stinks, it smells. But look at the buildings. And you can see the buildings just, towering above the gates. You can see the central spire of the Wizards College, just a huge beacon of something.
Academia.
Awesome.
You guys just happen to be on the wastegate side. I don't know what to say.
And things are bad. So people are still going towards it. Alas, of course, is also expounding the virtues of the city, albeit in a slightly monotone
Me and
tone
Janeon
of
just
voice.
clean up the road as we go inward.
The road itself is decent. Like, there's a path through the muck, as it were, because people do still use the wastegate.
I've been casting prestige. I have been doing prestidigitation to make it not as smelly.
Just non-stop. Just attempting
basically.
to overpower.
It's just like a breeze
this
every
point,
100
it just
meters.
seems-
Just
I think that's exactly what it would be.
How's that working out for?
It's like spraying a bottle of Febreze in a garbage heap.
You just see me start summoning unseen servants with ritual magic, and there's like clean and sweep stuff up. And I'm just like, why don't we do this in the first place? Question quizzically.
So, what I'm going to be asking is where we are. Now, I'm not moving a billion tokens onto this dang map, right? Nor would I like you to. But where are we as it comes to the procession going into the city?
I imagine I'm in the middle still trying to tell people it's just this back game. We dump stuff here. Don't worry about it.
I'm
Actually,
at the
there's someone-
front.
Okay, if you are with the front, you can move your tokens on with, Chol and Vex. I just pinged it right around here. And if you are towards the back... Whoops, there it goes. You can move your tokens on with Kif and Locked, who are towards the back.
Yo, Grim, I got a... You got the wrong token there. Here you go.
Do I? What token?
Here, look on this.
Oh,
You got the wrong Vivek.
I came up with that name. I thought, that's an awfully familiar name, but I did a Google
Morrowind,
search and the
bitch.
thing that came up was some Indian actor. And so I thought, that's definitely not where I know this name from.
It's
But I'm
Vivek.
not worried about where it is. Well, fair enough. He's famous then.
and then I
mean,
suppose I
imagine-
don't really need to put the wall token on, do I?
You don't.
Imagine being a video game character that knows the main character can save.
Yeah, Morrowind was a long time ago. Guts.
Yes, sir.
Very frankly, do you give the bottle of whatever to Tadpole?
Yeah, I'll give her the bottle. I'll say, you're gonna need this.
What, to toast our arrival?
On
Something
would-
like that, yes. Hold on
would-
to it. It's for drinking, not selling.
Is Guts in the middle still with me, or are they all moved up forward?
I
If I'm in-
see Tadpole towards the back. I made you a new
Yeah,
token as well, Tadpole.
I saw that. Thank you.
I didn't see it.
But I will
Feel me, I'm in the middle somewhere.
save it correctly now that it has, like, you know, names and stuff. Because my OCD could not handle a square token.
You know, the drinks...
Square peg in a round hole.
Exactly, I can't deal with it. It's the simple things. Okay. So towards the front, there's definitely an argument going on between Chol and these two people. Vivek, you would know to be sort of the captain of the guard type thing. He's the one who oversees what's going on as it pertains to goods and whatnot entering into the city. Now, it's certainly not the sort of setup that they have in the front gates of the city where, you know, it's a very refined process. They're sitting down at desks, they're checking through paperwork, but it is somewhat similar. Chol hands Vivek a sheet of papers, presumably documenting everything that they're going to be going in. Vivek looks incredibly annoyed at the fact that, well, obviously 100, 150, 200 people are going to be going through his gate. There's a person standing next to him, a gnomish mage of some sort, and she just looks incredibly amused by the entire thing. You would guess her to be more of an assistant to Vivek, but assistant might not be the correct words, because just at how amused she looks at the entire thing going on, and how much joy she seems to be taking in Vivek's discomfort.
You know, Grim,
I give her a grin and a nod.
I just want to say I thought only female dwarves had beards.
Didn't he say no?
That's what I'm saying. It's she, right?
There's the,
Oh, I did say
there's the
she.
token.
Don't come at me with your cis white male ideas.
Grimcad.
He identifies.
All right, it's a he.
Look, you're very stylish.
If it's a he, I don't give him a wink and nod.
It's definitely
it's
a he.
no, so you know.
But regardless, he looks incredibly pleased with the amount of discomfort this is causing Vivek. That's a lot of people coming through the city. We don't have all day to do this. Chol replies, yes, you do have all day to do this. This is more or less your job. I mean, if we'd like to let them through without having to pay proper taxes and all that, I'm okay with that, but, well, that would be on you. He scowls and looks annoyed. Look, get them in, but after that, it's going to be up to you to wrangle them, as it were. I'm certainly not going to be doing it. We'll go through and we'll do the branding, of course, but past that, everything is on your own. Don't worry about it. I have some people coming. Look, you just do your job and all that. And you begin to sort of file in the people to the city. And Chol sort of explains to him there's to them that there's this entrance thing going on. They have to be properly documented, everything like that. And as he's doing that, more and more people are arriving. And they look fairly nondescript as far as facial features go, because guess what? They don't matter in the long run. But they certainly all have the garb of wizards, or at least magic practitioners of some sort. And there's about 4 or 5 of them coming up, and they're sort of surrounding the people, staying towards the very edges of them. And then there's some people coming up who have more of the look of an executioner to them. Whatever they're doing, well, they're prepared more for the violence type of thing that's going to be going on. You know, they're having sort of moving these braziers filled with, obviously, fire and coals. They have these, what are obviously branding irons presents, and they're not really doing anything to hide it. And not everyone can see what's going on, but enough people can sort of see what's going on. They're sort of putting 2 and 2 together, and people are starting to panic. Now, they're looking to you all, as in the party, for guidance of what to do. You're getting lots of questions, lots of nudges, lots of what's going on. Do we need to sign things? You know, I don't write so well. I can put my mark on something, but that's pretty much it.
Oh, no, it's you get marked.
What do you mean?
I show them my brand on my arm.
You don't have a brand, you have a
Or
tattoo.
the tattoo.
You can have either. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I'm not first generation, so I guess it would be a tattoo.
Likely, yes.
Yeah.
Everyone gets inked up.
It's just
Free
for
tattoos,
record
guys.
keeping.
We'd be part of the same mechanical gang.
Free tattoos.
Are they all in the gates yet?
Pretty much. So, Tadpole,
Yes.
do you down the contents of your bottle?
Well, I was just told I would be helpful, but I didn't. Did she tell me when to take it? Guts?
No.
She did not.
No, I didn't.
No.
If you
No,
ask
I'm going to
anyone
save it for.
else-
I'm going to save it for when I need it. Then.
Oh god.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Tattoos is always fun.
So,
Jeez.
pretty much everyone
I thought it would have kind of been.
is sort of filled into the city at this point. And then there's a loud sort of boom that comes from Chol as he shouts out, "Now!" to everyone.
Grim, play me out to Sandman, please, okay?
The inner Sandman stuff starts softly playing. And the mages that are present all go about casting their sleep spells, targeting the townsfolk. And we roll.
It's not the one I wanted.
Several things.
I get ready to bop any heads that need bopping.
Can you see these, or are these private?
Private, if
Okay,
it's
good.
rolls.
They are rolls.
Here we go.
And certainly, most of the population falls asleep. Now, this was not directed towards you, Tadpole, because I presume you were with the rest of the party, sort of doing their own thing.
Is this including my sleeps, or...
Yes, this is including your sleep rolls that you made earlier.
Oh, I have 2 more than that note.
Okay, go ahead and add them.
Let me just count them up. To level 3 spells, that's plus 48, so that is 18d8, I think. 88 more.
Okay. Well, that's certainly enough between the... There's actually 2 more of you as well. What, 7, 8, 9, 10? I'm good at math. Of you to manage to put these commoners to sleep. And then, much to... Well, I don't even know if you would be horrified or not. But much to your chagrin, certainly, the ones who look like executioners go about walking through the crowd, pulling out their branding irons, and marking everyone in the face.
I want to take my flask out. I'm going to toast the tadpole.
Am I asleep?
You were not. You were not target of this spell, so you can see everything that's going on.
Okay. A little confused, but all right. So he's toasting me?
Yeah, we're having a toast now.
All right. I'll break out one of my little flasks from my haul from the inn, and I'll toast him as well.
Thank you, Janeon.
I had to.
Are you drinking from the bottle that you were just given, or are you drinking from your
No,
own
because I don't
private
need
stock?
that yet.
Yes.
I'm just my private stock, of course.
Okay.
Until I get an indication of when I need it, I trust Guts. I trust her implicitly. I'm definitely going to hold it until I need it.
Yeah, Guts.
Oh my goodness.
Wonder how that trust's gonna go.
Well, toasting now, Guts.
Yeah. To Guts!
Don't wanna.
My friend
I'll
is
hear my
always
name.
looking out for me.
Give me a perception check, Tadpole, as well.
Okay.
If I hear my name, can I make my way over to you guys? Or
Daylight,
whoever
so I'm afraid
Tadpole's thinking?
disadvantage.
I wish we were all together at this point, honestly.
Okay. So you can see what's going on with that, but you can't see what's going on past that. The couple of the branders are going through, doing their work, and they're going through it quite swiftly. They seem to be doing something to the people afterwards, but they're not receiving, say, care or anything like that. So you're slightly distracted, but you can kind of see that after they go through and, obviously you can see that they're getting branded. They're not really trying to hide it. But they're just sort of having something done to them after that, but you're not entirely sure what it is. Some of the rat folk are going on ahead, and after they're being woken up, the people, that is, they're sort of ushering them towards a certain area and away from the gates.
I don't know, is Guts with us now? Are we all back together? If they're all doing that stuff, that's what we were trying to figure out, I think.
Yeah, presumably, yes. Everybody's been pretty much gathered into the gates at this point. We're huddled, they're asleep, and so you're all sort of together standing off to the side.
A question: If they toasted me, would I have been able to hear them and just make my way over?
We're all together.
Yeah, you're all together, so yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm actually gonna take this time. I'm gonna tap Tadpole or pat her on the shoulder and say, "Hey,
Yes.
you still have that drink? You still have that drink I gave you?
You betcha. You told me to save it.
Now might be a good time to drink it down, man.
Really?
Yeah. Say go for it.
Okay. Why?
This be a long way.
You need a free
to go to
tattoo,
table.
man.
Zoosh is looking visibly concerned and has started shaking a little bit.
Okay. I guess I'll drink it.
Have
We're
you
gonna
touched any of the good stuff?
grab Zooch and kind of keep my arms around her.
Okay.
Hugs,
girl.
Zoosh.
I'm gonna tell her that she's okay. She's already been through it, remember, and she doesn't need to do it again.
It's not a thing that I like, and look at them. There's so many of them getting it done, and she reaches up to her face and
remember how much better your life has been with us now?
I suppose you're right. Yes, it's only for a moment. It's not bad. All right, so Tadpole, what you're drinking is great.
Hey, got some more of this.
Like, it's not low quality stuff at all. It's the finest of the finest. We're talking like the equivalent of a $350 bottle of bourbon here, you know.
Oh,
It's not the best you've ever had, but it's pretty darn good.
my friend Guts is truly my friend. She shared no expense.
And then the drugs take hold.
Terrible feet.
I wonder what drugs are in the city that plane hops every 30 days. They must have such a selection of weird shit.
They must
together.
have some good stuff, man.
And then it starts to hit you, and you're tired, you're sleepy, you're having a hard time keeping your eyes open. But if you ever close
I
them,
love you, Guts. Guts, you're my best friend. I love you so.
you can't actually sleep. So you're certainly awake, but you're numb.
You know, how much can kobolds drink? We should have checked into that.
Probably not a lot. You probably weigh like, what, 30, 40 pounds?
Something like that, yeah.
I think half of her blood is bourbon now.
To be fair, dwarves are small and drink a lot.
It's true.
But they're thick, though.
I got thick blood. It's like oil.
Yeah, I'm 2.5 feet tall and 30 pounds.
Yeah.
It's gonna
She's
hit you
wasted.
hard.
So eventually, the guardsmen work their way down through it, and the rest of the party realizes that after they're done branding someone, they also clasp some manacles. Not manacles exactly, but leg irons to them and sort of, usher them along with the rest of the group, single file, one after another. And eventually they come to the rest of the group. Chol nods and says, one more. The little one.
While they're coming over, like, so how much do you guys get paid for this thing? Is it like a school, or what do you guys do?
That is to...
The people coming over. I'm
It's
just chatting them up.
just a job. I mean, we're civil workers. And they don't mind talking. Like, they don't think it's a terrible thing that they're doing. It's just another day in the office.
So do you have to go to like a course like us mages do, or do you just kind of like, is it like a hereditary thing? Like,
Oh,
how do
well,
you get...
not really. I mean, we had to apply. I mean, it's not bad. We get some, benefits. We get paid fairly well, and it's always nice to do something good for the city back in return.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you don't mind, we'll go ahead and...
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. I thought we were doing it while we were talking while I was doing it, kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Just
it's sort of like,
nonchalantly.
if you've ever seen somebody do road work, there's 3 people standing around leaning on their shovels while a 4th person is actually working. And so they, take Tadpole, hold her. She's not particularly resisting a ton. And even if she is, she's not, resisting very strongly. Turn her face to the side, and then there's a warmth on the side of your face. And you've been branded as a slave in the city. And they begin to apply manacles to her, but Chol waves them away, and it's like, we'll be dealing with this one separately. No reason to take her to the market. All right, well, he turns to the rest of the group. This was very profitable. Technically, you're still under contract, but we can have a couple of free days for you to ponder the things that we talked about before, and for me to talk with my superiors about it. Again, it's not quite official yet, as I will have to, talk to my boss, but again, the partnership, I'd like you to think about it for a little bit.
Sure.
Before
we
we
all that.
close today, do you have any questions?
Now, am I cognizant of what's going on, or am I just still out of it?
You're out of it, but you're aware of what happened.
I'm sure at one point,
hell's going on?
She's sloshed.
Guts, Rockabye Baby.
What?
Pick her up and do Rockabye Baby.
Oh yeah, I will. Can I?
You're gonna. I mean, at this point, she is in no way capable of stopping you if you'd wish to pick her up. And
Yeah, I'll pick her up. I'll pick her up and kind of just gently rock her back and forth. Oh, Bob.
It's like being rocked to sleep by a picket fence. You don't have any soft spots on you. It's all hard and ow.
Tries to find something to cuddle into, just can't.
Well, I'm wearing clothes. They're baggy clothes. So they should provide some sort of, I don't know.
So Chol says, "All right, I'll get some folks after here to take your trophies to wherever you wish. It'll be a little while before they get there, but for now, good job. You're on your own. We'll come find you in a little bit to talk."
Sure.
You know where we'll be.
We do. Farewell. And unfortunately, I'm afraid I have to take a quick break and get my daughter some lunch because she's here with me again.
I can put Jug on, yeah.
So 10 minutes or so.
Alright.
Alright, I'll be back.
So should we go straight to the mansion? Should we go visit the druids, give them all that seed?
Yeah.
What should I do with the
We probably should
wall?
Oh
also get
shit,
Tadpole
I
some medical
forgot
care.
about that. We have 2 of those. Shit, no one.
Can we?
We forgot
Can
about
we
Reed.
use like? Should we put one as the door to the?
That's an issue going in and out. We have to, get an amulet, make a strength check, open it, close it. I'm thinking we.
Yeah, but like,
You know how we have that square?
well, we're
around us?
like, if we go out for the shift, we can leave the door
I'm thinking we
guarded by the.
maybe build it around the house first, and then we start adding the neighborhood, because we have that square right around us. We just start adding to it and take over that square, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't think there's anyone really around our house. That's
So we
gonna
live in a
stop
good
us if
neighborhood.
we
I'm
take the wall.
pretty sure those other houses are inhabited.
Yeah, I thought we were surrounded by it was like a neighborhood. Well,
Remember when
Yeah.
when we got the place? Yes, those vile ogres. They got kicked out of their house finally. The rambunctious bastards. They should be quiet at night now. Sips expensive wine. He was just used to this bullshit at this point.
Yeah, but none of them are gonna stand up to the wall.
Doubt it. One day soon we'll have the entire city covered in the bone wall. That'd be a few decades of bodies just piled up, I think. Because this thing's like what, at least a dozen miles in radius or whatever, at least. Anyone play Crusader Kings 2, by the way?
I have it, but I've not played it.
I've been trying to get into it, but it's really complicated apparently. I
Yeah.
like Civ, I like Stellaris. I go into this like, what the hell am I doing? I looked at a video guide. I got the gist of it down. I think I started as like a baron instead of a king. I think I should start as a king or something. Or someplace where it's warring factions I can take over. Yeah, the fantasy mind, so I can play as a dragon. I still got my ass kicked. My main first person got freaking crippled, and they had to step down from the leadership, and the 2-year-old started to take over. I'm like, well, shit, I can't do shit now. Germany just became all dragons when I rolled the random race modifiers France was elves, I think, ironically enough. I think the UK became all gnomes. It was funny. If you're an Irish gnome, are you just a leprechaun?
Yes.
Yeah, it is cold outside.
What?
It is cold outside.
Oh, I don't have that yet. I'm still kind of in the 70s, 80s here. Like my AC on just low right now.
I mean, in New Zealand, it's like the last 2 weeks of winter, and winter's only just. And it's also 5 a.m.
All right, are we waiting on anybody?
You?
Yeah.
Just
Sorry.
you. I'll be
What
back
about
enough
Grim?
to
We
wait to
just
make coffee,
remembered
but
something.
I'm here.
Okay.
We forgot about the fun people.
The fun people?
Yeah. Remember all the fun people we dragged with us? The 2 specifically? They like to hug people?
I like to hug people.
Yeah, right, Rick?
Really?
Yeah, well, they they kind of rip things apart if you get to.
I mean, the wall? I remember the wall. The wall is here.
We haven't mentioned it yet, though. We just like, what are we doing with the wall? It's still following us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We're
you're right.
bringing it
I
back
didn't
to
mention it was definitely something I should have mentioned, but I
I
presume.
did say. I did talk to Grim about it.
Yeah. That, you
It was
know.
just. It was just I didn't put the pace on the board because it
Mhm.
was just assumed.
That between
just take-
Janeon and Rick, we've been able to manhandle it with us the entire way.
Man, we just dragging this thing back to the house with us. So
And it didn't.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn inert on entering the city like the stone did.
It did not.
Me
Oh,
was the
that's awesome.
wizards doing it. I'm pretty sure they just fucking nuked us to steal the head and the crystal. Remember, nothing happened when Scav, the
Yeah.
9th level priest, walked in the door. We should look her up, by the way. Maybe she can heal Reginald. If she hasn't started like a cult by now, that is.
She probably has.
Wait, what if she's just at our house when we get home?
She's
let's-
actually the old man
let's
we
get
hired in
home.
disguise.
It looks like we are.
Last shift when we brought Zoosh back, Devil, we brought back a, it was like a nuked kind of thing, like Dune-ish. Everything was like ruined by like some magic war. It was all a desert planet kind of thing. It had 3 suns. One of the persons we found was a human spirit that was basically cursed to walk the sands for centuries. We
Oh
brought
my
them into
God.
the city so they could leave.
Why
But
is
they
it so
were
big?
casting like 7
My
Is it-
donkey is massive.
Is Reg like actually in the dining room there?
So, if you will remember, you
That
left
donkey
some old person in charge,
Is he
along
dead?
with Reg.
Is Gramps okay?
When you get to the door, you find that it is locked and bolted, and that
this is
you
amazing.
do not have a key to get into it.
Why do we not have a key to our own house?
Well, rather, you have a key, however, it does not work.
there a note
Because you have a different door on the front.
Did someone steal our door again? Is there a note?
I knock on
How
the door.
expensive?
Fuck it. Doof, doof, doof.
I was gonna knock intensely on the door with like
I just saw like
axe, but just knocking my.
to answer the door.
So you knock on the door, and eventually you hear sort of a scuttling come to the door, and you hear a familiar voice. Yes, who is it?
Reg, open up, it's us.
Did you buy stuff from Amazon?
My sleep
again,
paralysis demon.
I have made a little bit of a mistake when I had the new door put in, and
Who gave you money?
It's embarrassing, but I can't actually open the door.
We have windows, right?
No.
You don't have windows?
Stand back from the door, Reg. We're gonna have to get a new one.
Oh, hold on. No, guys, I got this. I'm gonna put my owl. Okay, I have an owl. You see this owl, right? Wait, let me check the spell real quick. Yep. Okay. Last line. As well, the last paragraph. As an action, while it's temporarily dismissed, you can cause it to reappear, 30 feet within an occupied space, 30 feet. So I'm gonna.
Are you gonna try to get your owl to open the door?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Now, am I still stoned or drunk?
You would be fairly out of it. You'd certainly be more cognizant of what's going on, but you would still be numb at this point.
What the hell happened?
Well, we had a little bit of an issue with some intruders, and, well...
Oh, what the hell happened to my face?
Oh, I can't see your face, but I'm sure it's very beautiful.
No, I'm talking to Bones. What'd you guys do to me?
I think Discord just
I
dropped.
don't even know what to say to that.
I like how both the Australians just disconnected. Like the Discord and they went down.
Yeah. Well.
Would you hear me?
Just keep patting her on top of the head, like, hush, little baby, don't say a word.
Zeus
Get away from me!
Come to talk to you, and she would try to do the same. She would, try to put her arm around you, and she'd gesture to her own face, which happens to be branded in the same way as yours. And it's a thing that they do when they come into the city. We're slaves, the two of us.
I'm a slave to no one! I am my own kobold!
I mean, you'd be a slave to a dragon if you could be. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's not as bad as one might think. It's not like in the old world where you're beholden and actually slaves. We're slaves to the city, but we're equals here. These are my brothers and sisters.
Yes, but my face, my beautiful face! You've disfigured my beautiful face!
Think of it as a free tattoo.
It's not so bad. It adds character.
Hey, you a war
Does it really?
You wouldn't think
Yes, I
I'd
think
be
it's-
ugly. It
Think about how
heals.
intimidating you look with the facial scar now.
Intimidating?
Yeah, dude.
You really think it makes me look more intimidating?
Don't all injuries?
I mean, in a
I give him my best growl look. Did that
I
help?
pretend to be frightened.
Oh, I knew you really cared for me. Here, let me out that store. And I'm gonna see if I can pick the door.
I'm shouting through the door to Redstone. I'm just like, who gave you money?
Well,
Can I pick the lock?
you can certainly make an attempt to.
Wait, someone should let. We
Is the
just
old
know
man
not to eat
still
tadpole.
alive?
Yeah, I was gonna tell the owl to do it. I can teleport the owl.
Yeah, that's definitely opens the lock.
I got this.
Just click.
Give him an
I
extra
give-
growl. Rrr.
And you
I
open
give
the
Rich
door and
lots
you
of
see
stretches.
sort of a strange shadowy creature, like a ball of shadow, is, if you will. It doesn't have like hard edges or anything like that, with long sort of very, like in real world equivalent, it looks like the limbs of a Japanese crab. They're incredibly long, like much longer than they should be, and it's just extending out of it.
Step back! I'll kill it!
No, don't kill Reg!
The
sort
step
of-
between
house.
Tadpole.
Guttles back.
Reg, how do you buy a door in the first place? Were you buying stuff on Amazon again?
Well, when the intruders came, and, well, I killed them, and they had the money on them, and so I had the old one, he
Wait,
go out and contract another
Intruders?
door.
Intruders? What?
Yes,
Explain.
some people came by, and they had no good up in their minds. They wanted nothing more than to kill Reg, and I wouldn't let them, and I killed them and I ate them, and they were so fresh. It was amazing.
Where's the old man that we left?
Well,
Just my sleeper.
I determined that he was with them because he sort of let them in and they were doing things, and so
Were they fixing the house or anything like that?
he was fresh too.
I like this person.
Were they?
So wait a minute, Reg.
What's the bit?
How
What's
did
the
you go
bit?
about contracting the person to get the door?
What's the bit? Old fella contracted people to fix the door. Rich ate them all and got another door installed himself.
No, I think the guy was trying to rob us.
Because didn't we get the free door off Hambone, and that was already
Yeah.
installed before we left?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
that's the point.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I think the old man we hired was trying to rob us, and Reg ate them all.
Wonderful. Absolutely.
That's what I thought too, and people have been coming by every so often, looking for something and someone, and I've been scaring them off.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
I can reach under that new door, and I give him a grab, and I give him a pinch, and they don't like it very much.
No, I imagine not. Huh?
So they're looking for something.
I think they were just trying to rob us, honestly, and they were just trying to keep going back to see if their friends were dead.
I
True,
think
they wouldn't have
someone
found
wants
any
their house.
evidence. Well, I start unloading everything we've got. I take foodstuffs and perishables and put them in our storages and kitchens, and I put our loot into our general loot storage and treasury.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We have one of those?
Well, just in the house, and you also have sort of a shed, as it
We have
were,
that
that you're
shed.
being pressed into a stable by the side as well. So, don't forget about that. Although, funnily enough, I should have added it to this map, but I didn't map it out at all.
Just put the wall here, I guess. I don't know. Put them on the sides of the door.
Well, I think because Muria's big enough, she can just signify the entire shed.
Now, again, before, you get angry, I don't want you to get angry at Reg, but there were some issues, which is why, the old man, I thought he was bad, because he went up into the room, in the attic, the secret room, and he was poking around in there, and, well, he left it open, and, Reg has to eat, and so, well...
It could have been a lot worse, Reg.
Wait.
So it's okay.
We did tell him to not go up there, and for that specific reason.
You did,
but
and I remember it, of course.
You,
You leave the bones.
you didn't do too bad, Reg. He did what he was not supposed to do, so he deserved to die.
Exactly, he deserved to die for being so tasty.
We have a pretty awesome guard dog.
Did you leave the bones? I know you like the marrow, right?
No, it was so good. It wasn't. It
okay.
wasn't very fresh, but one does what one can.
We'll have to go break some legs later, I guess.
Oh, not Reg's legs.
No, not yours, Reg. Oh, keep stopping by.
Oh, good.
Were they the guards or were they just strangers?
They look like the guards, the ones that came here first.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
No.
And they, like I said, they've been coming back periodically. Not every day, but quite often.
I don't know if they're checking the place or if they're just trying to wonder what's up with the guard dog attacking them through the door. Did they say anything when they came through the door?
Well, normally they just try to get in and they try to pound the door and they try to pick the locks. But Reg doesn't let them. He reaches under the door and he gives him a pinch.
Would we know where to get in hold with Stromboli?
No.
Why do we use Stromboli?
No.
We have the Rat House, we have Hambone.
Because he's like directly the guards. If we just went to him and was like, "Yo, so we heard you've been poking around now," or you're
Who's the councilman for our district?
For your district? It's written down in my notes, but I don't have those particular set of notes in front of me. Stromtoli, for the record, with a T.
I know it's with a T.
Is not with your district, though.
Yeah, he's an investigative dude somewhere else. We just have to find the
I'll be right back, though.
Sure. So Janeon at least is going through and unpacking everything else, putting things away in the larder, the storage, and whatever. What is everybody else pretty much doing? In Tadpole, at this point, you've pretty much come down, and your face is throbbing.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it hasn't really received a lot of medical care afterwards.
Well, I'm going to obviously get drunk because obviously I must be living in some kind of a weird dream. There's a big talking crab here. So I'm just going to go into my private stash and start drinking until somebody explains what's going on.
Do you want to clean up the attic by chance?
Yeah,
I think Reg
that
made
ain't
this.
gonna.
I know you like cleaning and all.
Shut up and wake me up when this whole nightmare is over.
I'll wake you up.
You're not real.
Don't worry, we'll get Rich to wake you up when the nightmares are.
No. That's fine.
I'll wake you up very gently.
No. That's
like a baby's kiss.
Oh.
Go on, give him a hug.
No. It's quite all right. Quite all right.
Just a little. Come on, you're about the same height.
All right, so we have a little bit of downtime.
I do make note of this secret. I did pay attention to the note about a secret door upstairs.
Yes.
Just kind of keeping that to myself here.
Well, you know about one of them, not the other 5.
Right. Which also means that on the far right of the map, that is the area to the secret door. So
I'd like to. This trap door leads.
Ignore
to
that, I guess.
It's supposed to be hidden. The trapdoor in the larder on the ceiling is the attic.
I mean, unless somebody tells her about it, which
I'm sure we'll say that I live in the attic in the larder. That's where I'm usually at. That's the secret door. The blood sigils off mine. The previous homeowners stained the floor with it.
So it's secret in the technical sense, but not the practical.
Is this house like very feng shui and orderly and clean?
Fairly. I mean, like, people have gone through and cleaned it. Reg has been there for a while. He's not one for, pulling things out of place or anything like that. He more or less ignores furniture. But there'd probably be, some blood stains around here and there.
Okay, yeah, well, that's what I'm going to be doing. Then I'm going to be cleaning up, and then going cooking until I wake up from this nightmare.
Reg, did you at least leave the ogres?
Nope.
No.
Rick, you want to go break the guard's legs with me?
What was that?
Want to go break the legs of the guards that kept trying to break in with me?
I mean, I don't see why not.
All right.
Hey, Tadpole, can I grab one of your nice bottles of spirits? I gotta go bribe the guards again.
Sure. Okay, I don't know if I've got bottles. I've got casks. Do you have a flask or something I could fill?
Do we have any...
Actually, I think I might have some wine. Hold on, let me check.
Honestly, if you have a small keg, that might make them fuck off. The smallest one you got.
Okay, yeah, I will give up one of my 15 casks of liquor.
Okay. We're installing this wall. When we leave, we're putting it around the fucking building. I swear to God. Damn duty guards.
Not big enough.
Yeah, we'll add their bodies to it first.
All right, so we've got a little bit of downtime. It is the 20th day. There are 10 days before the city shifts.
Ooh, I can make some stuff.
At some point, the rat folk are going to come to speak with you. Until then, though, you're sort of on your own, and this is the opportunity to get in a little bit of downtime stuff. If you need to go shopping or anything like that, this is the time you're climatizing yourself to the city. So is there anything specific that we would like to do? And I'm going to be going down the line, but I want you to think about it.
Just off the bat, can we just talk to the guards real quick to see what the fuck they were doing? Before anything, like the first day we get back. That's what I wanted to do right away.
Sure. Like, you're not far from the main road of the city, so it's not incredibly difficult for you to find groups of guards and flag them down, but there isn't really like a guard house that's near to you. So would you like to flag them down, or would you like to travel and attempt to find an actual like guard house?
I'll flag them down and see if I can ask them where the guard captain, because I'm assuming it's the ones we met before. They kept coming around. He said.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's busy. You could schedule a meeting with him, and he could come down and see what's going on.
Oh, we just came back. We said we were going to drop by some, these nice liquors we picked up from outside the city,
Mm-hmm. And this would be Amlad Jorvin, if you do not remember the names or did not write the name down, which, frankly, I presume you didn't. But yes, he'll stop by when he can. Whoa, look at that, kiddo.
Chocolate ice cream drizzled with chocolate.
Very nice.
And
Very cool. Okay, give me a cup. Daddy's still in the middle of his game.
That's all I really want to do. Does anyone want anything made in the 7 weeks we got? The 7 days. I could probably make some.
We should show them mine.
Maybe. Alright, sorry about that. My parents came by and brought my daughter a milkshake. But didn't get me one.
I was going to say.
But
who did they love more, apparently?
It's no secret.
How rude.
Wally doesn't have a name for some reason. That's a shame. Okay, Janeon. Is there anything...
I was going to, for my own personal stuff, go find a market for my meat. And I was also going to talk to the party about liquidating all of the treasures and everything. Basically, our party loot table, liquidating most of that to gold on the markets as well. Because, I mean, we don't need to be carrying around, you know, all these extra swords and chain shirts and stuff like that. We don't even need it adorning the house.
Well, how do we feel about that?
Anything we're not using, yeah, liquid gold would be better for the sake of materials and stuff too.
Or I'll spend, even if it's a couple of days, looking around marketplaces to find best prices. And if you just take in the party loot and then add I'll say 100 pounds of the 200 pounds of meat that we got off the Hive Lords and stuff.
Okay.
And give me a round out price for all of that.
Well, you're going to hate me, but what you get to do is you get to add up everything from the player's handbook, double the price, and that's what you make if you sell everything like that.
That's not that bad, honestly.
Well, I'll do that then while the party does the rest of theirs, and that can be Janeon doing his stuff.
What did we get loot-wise anyways? Have we been keeping track of it?
Yes.
What's that? Yeah, there's a party loot table,
Yeah, I
and
know
it's
how we
quite
ended up.
large.
How many?
So
I'll keep the books.
everyone should have access to party loot.
I just wasn't sure if you.
I do.
We got some bad guys. We got from the manor, I guess.
Does anyone want anything on there before I find it?
We'll keep in the books until we see how much they're worth individually, maybe.
Yeah, I won't do that.
Maybe see if we can talk with Red House selling the crane. I think she's more useful in raw materials than in storage capacity.
Okay.
You have to get a bag of colding like Critical Role has. Which is a bag that is refrigerated. I will look it up now on that note.
How quality is the quality shorts?
Not a plus.
They're not a plus thing on those quality things, but they are sold for 4 times, and there was like 2 or 3 things that were quality. So I'm glad that you did
quality
mention
is
it.
4 times.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so Janeon is going to be going by making the rounds of the marketplace. Adrian, what would you like to work on?
Want to get the seed from Tadpole and asked her if she wanted to go see the forest and take a walk. We have to pick up some of my animals and deliver the seeds to the druids.
Okay.
Okay.
Tadpole.
Sure.
Some nice fresh ale, some nice berries, you know.
Is there meat?
You pick up some meat.
All right.
Guts, what would you like to do? You may be.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I was muted. Let's see. Yeah, I guess I'll go. Is Tadpole all right? See you.
Oh yeah, I've got this cool little intimidating scar on my face now.
All right. I mean, if she doesn't need medical attention or anything, then I think I'll go. Are we trying to just stay inside the house, or are we allowed to go out?
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, if you don't have plans, you know, Zoosh loves to do her standby, which is basically shopping.
Last time we went shopping,
Yeah, I'll go shopping with you.
We had to buy a house.
And her other standby of eating sentient creatures. But you probably don't do that.
To be fair, that's a standby of like
At the party
a lot
now.
of us in this party.
Okay, so you and Zoosh are going out shopping. You know, she's a girly girl for all intents and purposes when it comes to things like that. Rick, is there anything that you would like to do?
I can't really think of anything majorly in particular that I need.
Okay, well, is there anyone that you would like to join in their outing then?
Shopping or druids, basically.
Yeah, shopping with the girls, shopping with Janeon, or rather, selling with Janeon, or visiting the druids to sell things, see things.
I'll go visit the druids.
Okay. All right, so in Tadpole, again, it's several days, so we can, you know, manage to get some things sold. Speaking of which, the place where we live is this. We are here at number 1. Number 2 happens to be sort of an open-air market. Pretty much the only 2 locations that we really know.
Are there any of the kobolds I see?
Tons.
Cool.
There's so many different races, you don't even know the names of most of them. But especially some of the smaller, quicker breeding folk are certainly more prevalent in the city than they would be from where you are from.
Okay. Are they looked down upon?
No.
All right. I like it here.
Not only
are they all marked like I am?
No,
Scarred?
far from it. In fact, they tend to make up the noble class and whatnot because they breed so rapidly. So, frankly, some of them are looking down on you.
Oh, yeah, quick note while walking Tadpole. Any outsiders are considered the slave class. There's laws, and it's not like, you know, other planes where you're treated as shit. You're selected to work for the city, you still get fed and housing and all that shit. You should be fine, you have laws protecting you and all that stuff. Girls are still assholes, though. Anyone born in the city gets a mark representing a citizen. Anyone like me, I take off my the back of my outfit and show my neck tattoo, the base of my neck. Anyone that's the 20th generation or more is considered nobility. So kobolds, goblins, they have a lot of nobility, but they're still assholes. Some of the goblins don't comprehend the nobles, and they go around killing people, shouting about goblin freedom, and that would be recognized.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, that changes what I want to do. All right.
I'll screw it over, which is funny.
Yeah, the way it works in the city, and again, I'll just go give a brief overview because, well, frankly, I kind of forgot you haven't heard it all before. There's 3 cases of the city. There's slaves, citizens, and nobility. To be a slave, you have to be brought into the city, as in not born there. If you are born in the city, you are automatically a citizen. And if you are the 20th generation and have done some sort of notable goal, which is sort of up in the air, you become a noble. Now, the nobility isn't like straight nobility, doesn't come with wealth or anything like that, but you're looked a little bit differently. You know, you've been in the city for a long time, and people, citizens at least, certainly respect that. There is a magical force in the city that sort of like is a geas, or a geese, or however you want to pronounce it, that you wish to do good deeds, in quotation marks, for the city. It's not something you can fight against or anything like that.
If I could interject, TLDR Spelljammer.
So the longer you've lived in the city, generations-wise, the more force it puts upon you. So the longer you've lived there, the more good you want to do for it. Again, typically in the sense of resource gathering. Now that means a lot of the longer-lived races are sort of screwed, because if you live thousands of years and you do not breed very fast, well, yeah, that's the way it is. And if you come from some of the, more traditionally evil, quote, races that tend to breed very fast, goblins, kobolds, all that kind of jank, you tend to be seen as doing better because you have, the Geas exerts its force more on you. You're willing to do more for the city. Now, of course, it doesn't translate exactly like that. Some of the eviler races are still sort of eviler, although this is mitigated some by the force in the city. But, certain places in the city are certainly more rough and tumble than others. There is a government system in place. For all intents and purposes, it is sort of a failing government system, especially nowadays. So think of it as being in a city in the decline and fall of the city, although it's not quite as practical as that.
And there may or may not be a slave revolt rising up.
We've kind of ignored it for a while, but that may or may not be happening in the background.
Okay.
Okay. For you as well, we can give a quick overview of my wonderful map making skills in the city itself. The place where we came in is up at the top. It is the waste gate of the city. These brown lines are roads. They are magical in nature. You walk on them much, much quicker than typically.
All right. Like at an airport.
Haste.
Exactly.
Okay.
We are located right here at this red dot. Or not really dot, but that other shape, whatchamacallit, square.
Polygon.
There you go.
Sort of a rectangle.
That's probably all that you would have picked up at this point.
Okay.
Though we would have mentioned the black squares and stuff, honestly. Like, hey, in 10 days, you're going to panic, but don't worry about it.
Right. When the See, I almost did it.
When
the city shifts, very strong forces at work. Think of a earthquake. These black boxes, basically earthquake proof. So typically what happens is the inhabitants go there, they ride out the shift, and then they go out. There's sort of days for meeting, gathering, buying, and selling as well. Water, aqueducts ending in fountains. Food is distributed. Typically at the sanctuaries, there are also smaller places here and there dotted along the cities. Most of food and water are magically created as part of sort of like a civil service from spellcasters. Food tends to be in the form of good berries. So food, like actual food, is at a pretty high premium in the city.
Okay.
And that'll probably be good for a basic overview.
Yep.
All right. Janeon working on selling the stuff. To the druid's home we go. Let's see. I have some of your tokens already. But obviously I do not have Tadpole's tokens on here. You're greeted by Durhill, the druid who is both training your spiders and who gave you the quest for the seeds. Ah, welcome. You're back much sooner than I expected.
Tadpole, you're with us, right?
Yeah, so if it doesn't take too long, because I got other things I want to do. But yeah,
Just one day.
Yeah, this is should be fairly
Sure.
quick.
Not a problem. I'm with you then. Yes.
Okay, put your token down.
Yes, sir.
Well, just a token.
Put the token down. All my tokens have the wrong health percentage.
Meh.
So how things been coming along? I know it's been early, but still.
Things are well, and yes, you are somewhat earlier than I had imagined, but no worries. I think you'll be very pleased with the progress that we've made with your spiders. They can follow some simple commands, although I will admit, if they're not fed regularly, they tend to get a bit aggressive. It's nothing too bad. A chicken's worth or so a day. It keeps them fairly placated.
Well, it's not bad. We do that for a talking crab already.
Yes. Of course. If you wish, I suppose you could
Doesn't everyone?
take them along with you now, or we could work on them a bit longer.
Grim, I'm gonna need prices for those things I just posted and
the DMG
the 100 pounds of meat.
Okay.
But will there be much improvement in the next 10 days or so before we head out again?
Probably nothing entirely noticeable. I'd really need a month or so more, but again, they're in a fairly functional state as it is.
Well, we'll take them for a test run. We'll see where we go from there.
Good. Just remember, they're very strictly meat eaters. They get most of their moisture from meat as well. Just about a chicken's a day's worth. And now, if you do lose control of them, there will be some issues, of course. This is, standard waiver type things. We are not the ones responsible. You, in fact, are.
Right.
Great. So, do you have any seeds for me?
We happen to be in the position to raid a few wheat fields, and we gathered a lot of the seeds from there.
Oh, indeed.
Tadpole, do you have the bags?
Yes, I do. And I hand him most of the bags. I don't know if he has realized I didn't hand him all over. I want to see what happens first.
So we gathered about 5 bags, if I recall.
Let's see here.
Giving them 2 maybe?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine.
Oh, and he sort of opens up the bag very carefully, not to spill any. Oh, my. Oh. Well, this is good, but also poses a bit of a problem. I was looking for a more diverse variety of seeds, not just the one.
We didn't really have a chance to go. We were in a lot of grasslands at the time, and we were kind of dealing with. You might see them stop by. I know the Red House took one giant insect creature.
Yes, well, no, I hadn't heard, but I'm sure rumors will be starting fairly soon. What with our profession and all,
You're a druid. Would you have heard of it?
Not off the top of my head. I would have to look through my records for it, frankly. But I'm not familiar with everything, of course. I deal more with the smaller things. If this was a giant thing that you brought in, well,
Think bear size, covered in chitinous plate armors, and with long, pincer-like legs, ravenous appetite, can tunnel through dirt like water.
Interesting.
There was a bad one too.
I'll enjoy taking a look at it, but, well.
we have a deceased queen if you want to stop by sometime. Whenever it gets delivered back to us.
Oh, well, I'm sure I would like to do some poking and prodding.
But yes, we were trying to. We brought in probably a few hundred townsfolk and farmers. We had a chance for any more variety.
Yes, of course.
Perhaps next time we get someplace like a jungle.
Yes.
Not grasslands.
Let's see. For the 2 bags of it, if you'll give me a few moments, I just have to briefly look in our records to see if we have anything similar like this. Dear, could you please take a few seeds and run these through and all that? And his presumably wife rolls her eyes, takes a couple seeds, and heads back into the house. Now, I'm afraid that even if they are unique to our database, well, frankly, I can't give you quite the amount that we had to come to an agreement for.
I'm sure it's grain. I can understand that. We didn't bring any exotic healing flowers back and all that.
Yes, exactly. And you know how things goes. I suppose I could be... Well, the 2 bags here, I could give you about 50 gold a bag.
Mm.
What do you think, Tadpole? 50 gold?
Yeah.
From the world where they are worth, that would be an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah. You never want to take the first prize offered. Oh, well, I mean, it did cost us a lot of effort and work. 50 gold seems kind of low.
You're all the local expert after all.
Yeah, so I think 65 is a little more appropriate. Shall we do a persuasion or whatever? Try to barter it back and forth?
Please.
Since I have a charisma of -1, let's go for it. Woohoo!
I'll help Tadpole. So yeah, she's a slave we brought in. She's a local expert and all that jazz.
Oh, mine didn't roll. Well, you know,
Perhaps you could ask her about things.
He turns around and says 45.
Good luck finding another buyer. I think we could probably do that. So what, 130 for the 2 bags?
So 65 a bag, right?
Yes.
Okay, I pulled out the other 3 bags.
Tadpole, you've been holding out on us.
Wait, did you say 85?
Where did you get the other bags? I thought you said you had the 2.
Well, yeah, I did have the 2. And the other 3.
Kobolds.
So you're presenting all 5 bags?
Sure, at 65 a bag, as we've come to an agreement on.
I'm sighing in disbelief. I'm acting it up. Like I wasn't a part of this.
I'm afraid
my temples.
I can't quite do that. I can only do the 300 for it. I can't do the 325 for them.
Okay, well, I'll take back one of the bags. And, of course, if you want us to start spreading the truth that you are you take back, you are a poor, that you don't keep your promises, and, you know.
Tadpole, you know,
yes.
You know the phrase,
stop this
"Bite
guy
the
from
hand
talking.
that feeds you."
Yes, but he is not feeding me.
But they're the druids, and they kind of
Yeah.
control.
They literally do.
What?
Yeah, they control like most of the food. You learn that they do.
We'll be fine with the 300 if that works for you.
The 300 will be fine for us. But I see your new slave is somewhat fresh, but you should likely educate her on matters.
Oh, we'll be spending a long time tonight.
We will.
Very well, and he gives you the 300 gold and takes the 5 bags.
They just got into there.
Damn druids.
But yes, I'll
he sort
go.
of rolls his eyes.
How are the what commands do the spiders take and all that jazz?
Well, you know, it's pretty standard dog commands, you know, when it comes to it. 3.5. You can hold, attack, sit, stay, you know, do regular things like that. Anything more complicated than that will work through, like, animal handling checks.
So is this 300 divided amongst the party, or just...
I added it to the company balance.
Okay.
That's a good question.
I just need to pocket the 300 coins and run off on the spider. No. But there's a company balance page. I just did it. I added the 300 from seeds. We have a house fund in case we want to do upgrades. We have 100 sitting that, and the company has currently 2,400 total, counting the house funds.
Wait,
Okay,
till,
so where? Oh, is that under party loot here?
No, it's above that. It should be the top page. It should be a company. Can she not? Did you set it to all or
Company
just
balance. I see the company balance. Yeah, I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I see company balance. Okay.
party loot's what we earn on each outing.
Yeah, I may need to take a loan depending on what my next thing costs me. So we'll see.
You have out of character. You have that half chest of gems there. That's probably a few hundred right there.
Oh, I know. We'll see.
Well, that's the 7 valuable gems.
The Tadpole stole, yeah.
Tadpole's, well, that's the other half of them. So Tadpole's 7 will be worth the same as those 7.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is.
Theoretically, that could
But
be
then-
something completely different, more valuable.
The other
No,
3 things are from the
150
manor.
gold from the adventurers, 430 gold from the tavern. Did we split that yet? Or
I've added that into my countings for this, so I'll just add it to the company balance once
Okay,
this
making
is
sure.
done, and then we can clear that party loot.
I would just like figure out what we're buying and stuff like that after this.
Only thing I didn't factor into selling were the spider parts and stuff like that, because I figured that's for crafting, and the venom is for Guts's daggers or rapier.
Well, we have the spiders now. We can get all the venom we want, baby.
Well, yeah.
Silk, some spider silk.
So
Stuff
you
like that.
are taking the spiders with you, correct?
Yeah, I want to take them for a test run.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Can I get a
Guts.
stat block?
Yes, I will get that momentarily.
Okay.
I have it somewhere, and I'll give you control of it. But you know, you and Zoosh have a nice day out. You do some shopping. You visit some cafes. You wind up spending about 15 gold. You buy a couple of sundresses, which are apparently the only kind of dresses she likes.
No one gets kidnapped.
She knows how to wear, and no one gets kidnapped this time around. All right. Back at the mansion. And if you will give me uno momento, I can find my spooters.
Hey, so what did you do with the cask that I gave you?
Oh, we haven't talked to the guards yet.
Okay.
That's the Brad fuck off again. Unless we added them to the wall, that is.
Okay.
The donkey sets them.
Okay, what's a room in the house we don't want to use?
Why?
Because we can have it as a treasury, and then we put Wally in the door of the treasury. Because
Probably the safest place would be the secret room. The Tadpole doesn't know.
yeah,
Well, I was just thinking if Janion's like selling all of it, wouldn't the armory be the best?
well, no,
What's
because
this room?
the treasury's gonna be basically at the moment a chest full of gold. Because once I add on whatever Grim gives us for those
Okay, let's
four
just go to
things
the
as
rooms in
well.
real quick.
Okay, for now I'm not worried about getting the spider token. More than that, it should exist there on the sheet, and I believe
I'll give it a token. I'll
everyone
make it,
should
yeah.
have access to it. So presumably you are penning it up with the donkey? Them up, rather.
I'll probably keep them with me for the time being. They can probably stay in the locked room.
Okay, we could do that.
It sets the mood by being here.
Oh my god, our house now has 2 giant spiders and a crab shadow monster that eats things, as well as a living fucking skeleton wall.
Yeah. I'm pissed at Ultroni. I'm trying to add a.
2 walls.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, Tadpole's working on curing 200 pounds of meat. It takes about 5 gold worth of salt or
Can someone do me a favor?
smoking wood, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
In chat, can you put that to the spider? Roll 20 is glitching out and I can't upgrade to my pro account. My storage is overfull. Someone just put that in the spider token for me, please. For the image, and I'll give you the token in a second. I'm just using the phase spider because of the white still.
Okay, so let me jump back real quick to Janeon. You're working on getting the gems appraised and sold as well?
Yep.
The sodalite?
We'll do the sodalite, the other box of gems we found, and the 7 valuable from the tavern.
Give me a D100, please.
D100, Jesus.
Or just 2 D10s.
Yeah, I was going to do 2. 52.
Okay. So it turns out that they are of pretty middling quality. They're not great, but they're not terrible. It is obviously uncut. He will give you 100 gold per for it raw. Now, he said he's willing to cut it for you for about 50 each, which can easily triple the value of each stone.
How long would that take?
It'll take a while. Like the rest of the week.
I'll just sell them to the monk-up.
Okay.
So that's 700.
Yes, it
for
is.
the 7.
But triple it. That's 2,100 gold. We just have to
What
wait.
about
Yeah.
the?
Yeah, you're just giving him heaps of profit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait up. What about the box of gems?
Yeah, what about those?
I'm sorry, I thought that was the box of gems. I thought that was
The sodalites, the box of gems, and the 7 valuable gems are 3 separate entries.
the sodalite is the box of gems.
Box of gems.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then, what about the 7? The box of gems. Oh, the 7.
Okay,
valuable.
those are actually the cut ones. Between the
Okay.
entire thing, you get about 2,100 gold from it.
Is that for 7? So that means I have the equivalent of that as well?
Presumably,
gems
yes.
as well. Okay.
Okay. So,
I have to put a leash on you.
So at the moment, you guys pretty much have more wealth than you've ever dreamed of having before living in the city.
Okay, Janine, I'm adding the 2,100 straight to. Is that with the 700 or is that just by itself?
oh no, just hold up a second, because where's the company funds?
Are you doing it? Okay.
Yeah, I'll just edit my calculation into it.
In Tadpole, if you wish to take some time and sell them, you could make the same amount as well.
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay.
You can't ask us for money ever, damn it.
Well, you don't know about this, or do they know about this? Because I think I showed them 7
they-
and I kept 7.
Correct.
You guys go.
So they
Oh,
do
the
not.
character we know, but not in character.
Okay.
So you can add that to your personal stash.
Yeah, I did.
Would you also like to go about selling the booze that you collected?
Yeah, I want to sell all but one of the casks. I want to purchase an extra set of thieves' tools
Mhm.
in case my one breaks, and then I need to take a moment and if now is my turn, with thieves' cant, I want to go to some of the more seedy areas and see if I can find someone that can magically remove my branding.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get Tadpole from jail in a bit.
So
Again, I'm doing this with thieves' cant to people that I think
Sure.
may be a little more on the seedy side.
Yeah.
you gain 500 gold for selling the booze.
For 14 casks, or how much is it per cask?
I gotta look
Actually,
up my
13 casks
prices.
because I'm keeping one cask.
Okay, change it to the dated
Give
one.
me
You see how I
one
made
moment.
today's date?
Sure.
Let's copy that down, actually. Wait, Janeon, did you add the 300 we had, or is that not?
No, that's not including your 300 for
Okay, I
grain.
wanted to just copy this down there 1 second.
And I can send you my notepad with all the prices on it, Grim, if you... Because I know that is quite a bit. But I mean, we had $2,500 worth of books.
Right.
Nice.
Because obviously I was not prepared for the huge selling spree.
That's why I wanted to liquidate, because I knew how much was sitting there. I didn't even expect it to be that much, though, but those books and those gems really put it up.
Well, I figure if I can find a way to get rid of my brand, it's not going to be cheap. That's why I'm kind of accumulating what I can.
I'm sure there's city size, but you gotta remember about the kiosks. You basically, it's almost like a religious thing. Even the Hambone was fucking about it.
Do you think maybe we should like relegate a little bit more of that to house funds?
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
500.
Well, we can discuss that at some point and do the math. You know what I mean?
It was not ale. It was actually spirits, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I just posted in Discord the prices of everything that came through.
Okay.
And that was following double for everything except for the quality, which was quad.
So I'm still saying 500 is
That's fine.
not only that, but a huge amount of profit.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Just making sure. All right.
It does happen to be a thing that is hard to get.
So I am keeping one cask. I want to get one nice gem that's big enough or small enough for me to swallow. The biggest I can that I can swallow. And I'm just going to keep swallowing it and then get it when it comes out, swallow it, get it when it comes out, swallow it.
Why?
So in case I lose my gold, in case somebody steals something, I still have something of value.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
As a kobold, I don't think I'd have a problem with that.
Right.
That is a really unique way to secure your funds.
Gross, but hey.
You're looking to convert all of it like that? Because you could
No. I can't do that. No. Just one or two nice gems, like 100 gold piece gem or something like that.
Sure, you could easily do that.
Okay, so I'm going to be continually swallowing a 100 gold piece gem.
Yes.
Good God.
Just saying, just throwing it out there.
I like it.
All right. My own little personal. I'm not guts. I don't have places to hide things, so this is the way I do it.
On that
You're
note,
never allowed to swallow that
I think it's
gem in front of the
chest cap.
party.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Do we
And
have
so so the last thing I want to do is I wanted to buy some thieves tools. How much are thieves tools?
I'll look it up real quick. Hold on.
I think normally aren't they 50 normally?
It's 150 then.
Yes.
150 normal.
Normally
That's
50
150
things
for the
cost
city.
3 times the amount in the city.
That's
though.
fine. So 150. Okay. All right, I'll take that off. All right. And so so I want to we can do this now or later. I want to go see about branding.
Okay, that's a very interesting one.
You can get
Even
you a nice
using
tattoo.
thieves' cant, people typically have a loyalty to the city. They're not faulting you for wanting to get it removed, but for the most part, they're not willing to help you either.
Okay. We'll wait till the next shift and go into the next town. I'm sure eventually I'll find somebody that can do it for me.
You have to do that tattoo then, though, because They look at it when you leave and enter the city.
As you're going about doing this, however,
You get killed by a guard.
you are getting some pretty substantial and pretty solid rumors that there is an active sort of slave revolt going on, and that if you can find them and ally yourselves with them, they'll definitely be able to help you.
Well, I am definitely going to pursue that. I may not join them, but I'm not going to tell them I may not join them, but I am definitely going to pursue this information.
Mm-hmm. Give me an investigation roll.
Sure.
You can actually give me 3 of them, because I assume this is over the course of several days. They're pretty elusive,
Sure.
but one way or another, now they know that you've been looking for them.
All right.
And that's basically the rumor on the street.
If I need to, I can bribe them with a nice ham sandwich or something.
I have ham.
That's right. Cured meat. It's beef. Really, it is. Really, it is. Enough salt. Who knows the difference, right?
So is there anyone else that would like to do anything sort of a last-minute type deal, buying, selling, before we get to our next bit?
No.
Give me a
Do they
second, let's
sell?
see if I
Do
have
they
any-
sell magic weapons in this area? In this town?
Yes, without difficult. Think of, you can find whatever you want, but you might be willing to pay some pretty extravagant prices on there.
Quarterstaff?
Yeah.
Or a dagger?
Uh-huh.
A +1 dagger would be wonderful. Or
Yes.
some type of magical dagger.
Without a doubt, you can find without too much trouble. Prices are ranging from around 300 or so gold for both of those items. Like each, I mean.
A +1?
Yes.
Is there anything more exotic?
Oh, yeah.
I happen to have a little more than 300 gold. I recently came into a little windfall.
So this is one that we will... You can tell me what you're basically looking for. I will create a magical item at the end of the session, or several, and you can pick and choose from there.
Okay.
Just give me an idea of a budget.
I want to see if I can find a quarterstaff that can be used as a monk weapon.
Okay.
Or that, no, not as a monk, as a finesse weapon that I can get sneak attack with. That's what I want to see if I can do.
Okay.
Okay.
And again,
just think
this
about
is- Yep. I will get with you later.
And I will go ahead and take a +1 dagger for 300.
Okay.
And so I'll take off 300, and I'll go ahead and do that right now. Thank you.
Does anybody else want to do some more of that sort of mundane shopping? For not so
Would I
mundane
be able to
prices?
find healing potions?
Yeah, healing potions you can find, again, without problem. The
And
basic ones
I
are
need
the
triple the price?
prices. Yes.
Basically.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Are we level 6 yet for spells?
Not quite yet.
Because I was going to go buy spells. No one had any
When do
opposition.
we get rat folk pay?
Very soon.
Can we level up at the same time so I could do my shopping list?
Very likely, yes.
Okay.
Good.
I'm port aware of rat folk, so I won't be looking for magic weapons till then.
Okay.
Or armor.
A person you recognize comes up and knocks on your door. It is Amelad Jorvin, the leader of the guard in the area. Dunk, 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 knocks on the door.
Who's getting it?
I'll get it, I'll get it!
Oh, God.
Good boy, Rich.
Although I'm kind of losing my voice, so... who is it? It's Jorvin. You all wanted to speak with me? Yes, I believe so. Give me a few moments and I'll get some of the biggins.
begins.
He
I'll-
comes up
I'll
to
come.
you, Janeon, and there's the Jorvin. He's at the door. He needs
Thank you.
something. I think he's
Thank you, Rich.
alone.
I go to the door and I open it. Hello, Darvin.
Yes, hello. You wish to speak to me about something?
Yeah, apparently we may have had some people knocking around the house while we were out. Would you know anything about that?
Who, before I go any farther, is downstairs right now?
Probably me. If he was.
I'm probably in the kitchen curing meat.
Yeah,
That's the second floor then.
I'm sitting over here in the room.
Okay.
Rick, you have the book upside down, Rick.
All
No,
right.
it's for reading, not eating.
Guts, would you be down in the common room, as it were, the entrance, vestibule, whatever you want to call it?
Yes, sir. I would like to be nursing the whiskey room.
Okay.
What?
All right. Can
And not
I
actually drink.
get from everyone who is down there in the oh god, down there right now, a perception check, and I will
Making
roll
check
one for
either.
Zoosh as well.
Oof.
Good old Zoosh.
Zush is in her own world. She just loves her dress.
19, yeah.
When he comes in and he starts speaking, you notice that he gives Zoosh just the worst stink eye that you could possibly imagine for just a second, and there's this look of pure and utter disgust on his face, and then it just wipes away very quickly.
That's
and
a good
Guts
idea,
and
Look up
Janie,
your-
you would both notice that, actually. Gosh, with 21 and 22.
That's a good idea to get that look off your face. Now,
I
were your lads looking around?
don't know what you're talking about. But
Yes, I'm sure.
what's the nature of what's going on?
Well, apparently our little guard Reg had an altercation with some people trying to break into our house. Now, we no longer have the evidence of these people breaking into the house, but we just wanted to know if you've had any guards go missing.
He sort of raises an eyebrow. No, I haven't heard anything like that. And he pulls out sort of a notebook and a paper. When do you suppose this was?
Reg, when did you eat the robbers?
It was probably just 2 weeks ago, and then again 4 days after that, and then again probably 5 days after that. Yes, that sounds about right.
Well, apparently those mountain times.
Right.
Hey, Reg, didn't you say some of the guards came by to check the place out too, see if we were okay?
Yes, I think the old man had gotten some to do that. For a while, I didn't eat those ones though. Right. Have you been attacking and killing guardsmen?
He's been he's been a good guard dog.
Well, I mean, yeah, hasn't been leaving the house. It's only people who enter.
Right, and he starts to write something furiously in his notebook.
But I mean, you said that no guards have gone missing, so it mustn't be guards then. It must be someone else.
He looks up and gives you this sort of look and goes, "You're exactly right, but if someone's impersonating guardsmen, well, this is something we take quite seriously as well."
I'm gonna talk to Reg on the side. Those two that you saw before, that was with him. Did they try to come inside, or did they just knock on the door?
No, they definitely tried to come inside.
Well, then, yeah, you two boys. What are the names again, Grim?
I'll be
The two
honest,
with
I
him?
have no idea who you're talking about.
Some of the two people that were here with him last time, one of them was holding his halberd and stuff like that.
Generic guardsmen A and B?
Yeah, generic
Yeah.
guardsmen A and B stopped by before. They tried to bash your new door, or
No,
nice
they
new door.
they did not.
Oh, I thought Reg said they were. Oh,
No, it was nobody he would recognize.
but they did stop by otherwise. Did they check on the door? I don't know what we're doing now. Can we all insight check him to see if he's fucking with us, though?
Yeah.
Who has good insight? I don't. No, I do have insight on mine.
No.
I'm not good at it,
But-
though.
Am I able to perception to see what he's writing?
I've got some air.
No, that'd be a really tough one. I mean, it's
Can I
like
have the
way
owl
above your
fly
head and all that.
In the perch
Yeah,
over
true.
him and read his notes.
Say that again?
I will fly on like a perch above him and read his notes.
That's a huge stretch. I mean, he would definitely try to keep it hidden if there's just this random owl trying to go above him
Owl
and hover a couple of feet
No, I'm
above
saying,
him and look
like,
at what
can it
he's
just, like,
writing.
Can I just fly around and land in the place? Kind of thing?
No.
Okay. But don't worry, we got a new solution we picked up from outside the city.
Oh, here.
Hey, Rick, you want to bring Wally down?
Zoosh gets a insight. And Guts, if you'd like to do an insight, you can as
Please, for
well.
the love of God, insight.
Yes, I will.
Do the spiders naturally dislike him? I have to see that. The spiders don't care about him.
Yeah, they couldn't care one way or another. They're giant spiders.
Whatever.
Yeah, you know, he's certainly hiding something. You get a sort of a nasty vibe from him. It kind of correlates to the look he gave earlier. But there's nothing quite solid there anyways.
Hey, I'm gonna try to, like, motion to, Janeon. I'm pulling at my, amulet, necklace I'm wearing.
Ah. Actually, yes, that's a point. I see his little what he's doing, and under my breath I say the activation word for my amulet, and I read his mind.
Sure. His surface thoughts are plagued by hate towards practically all of you, but very specifically directed towards Zoosh.
I'm gonna increase its effect to try and read why. This is when he gets the saving throw against
He
it.
knows,
Wisdom
though.
saving throw.
So, let me invite him in first. But anyhow, we got some, as promised, we did bring some stuff back. We got this nice new casket of the spirits. If you want to come and take a sample.
He would not come in.
He's in the door, though?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
But like, he wouldn't go further than that. But yeah, you're getting something along the lines of, that stupid bitch, I can't believe she's still alive. Well, you should have taken care of her on the first time.
He's with AJ.
They're gonna get what's coming to them pretty soon.
I'm looking at Janeon because I see he's holding the amulet.
Yeah. I've already pulled out my rapier, and
Broad daylight now.
Alright,
Yep.
close the door first.
Broad daylight. And there's a city cat.
Captain. As I see him unsheathing, I'm gonna try to hold him down, kind of thing. I'm gonna be like, draconic, Rick, get the door.
I assume that misses, though.
I'm gonna.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't even see the attack. I did not have... don't have his sheet out. Give me 1 second.
Regardless if it misses or not, I want to cast Hold Person.
That does miss. You cannot cast like that, however. What
As
we're
it
going
says,
to do... Janeon got a sneak attack in. Everyone else goes by initiative.
Okay.
And
in 1
as
second. Don't do anything yet.
Am I hearing this combat below?
It has not quite started. You would not. You do know that there are visitors of some sort.
Oh, come on. I got 22. Why don't you clear?
Well, then I'm going to make a plate of hors d'oeuvres to bring down.
I got 20 still. Bring myself that 22. Sucks for him.
But yes, as I miss, I say,
Who was involved with what happened to Zush?
All right. So Adrian, you react quicker than anyone else. Janeon just tried to attack him. He said he was involved with what happened with Zush. And you may be muted. Okay.
I was trying to... The tokens for the spiders aren't linking up right. I'll have to... Just give me a blank sheet or something, I'll fix it. But yeah. Oh, they got the same initiative. That's nice.
twins.
That's nice.
Twinsies. But yeah, wisdom save.
Wisdom.
Does the wall roll in it?
No, because we
no.
control it directly.
Failed miserably. He is now paralyzed. The specific stat block. I don't think he can talk that well either. Mission's paralyzed. They are incapacitated, can't move or speak. They fail strength and dex saving throws. Attacks have an advantage. Any attack within 5 feet is a crit. He got fucked.
Rick, it is your turn.
Get the door, Rick. That's what I said to.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up here, shut the door behind him, and can I grapple him? So when the whole
You can.
wears off, I'm holding on to him?
Yeah. Alright, so he is pretty much successfully taken care of at this point. I don't think we need to go further into combat, to be honest with you. So you have him, and you have him for, up to basically a minute. Totally incapacitated, paralyzed. What would you like to do with him?
I take out my favorite pair of manacles. I'm gonna put them on him. Get some rope, tie him up. I'm gonna take him up in the soundproof torture room.
I come up too.
It's not exactly a torture room, but sure.
It's pretty soundproof, I imagine, if they're doing what they did in there.
Likely. Ding.
Spider's gonna follow me. I can't touch that spider in the room. Fair point.
You can't?
I can't touch the one in the attic, no.
Weird.
The other two I placed down.
Oh, okay. Here, we're gonna just move these to the side.
Ignore all the corpses. Those are gone, I'm pretty sure. They got eaten, right?
No, these corpses are still left. The other corpses, however, have been
get in here. Nice.
eaten, except for that one that's on the couch. Because I
Don't mind the corpses, you'll be joining them soon.
And at this point, you think you can get away with this? You think nobody knows I'm here?
Oh no, we'll be going straight to your superiors and sharing what you've been doing in the meantime. But then
And
again, I guess, would AJ be one of your superiors?
AJ?
we had his name.
Have
Hold
you
on.
noticed his initial?
Yeah, and he definitely looks at you sort of one eye up.
What was his
Hey.
name? We had AJ's name.
No, you didn't. You just had AJ.
No, we didn't, and we've literally got someone called Amelot Joven.
Oh. Oh.
I thought for sure you people would recognize that.
Jesus Christ. He's the guy behind. I just thought it was the councilman, dude. Okay, so you're the asshole in
As,
charge of all
as
the
soon as
slaying.
AJ was said, I saw it.
Oh, I feel like a stupid person now.
I'm blaming it on the fact that Janeon's got a wisdom of 12 and an intelligence.
Yeah, wisdom's not my dumb stat, but it's close to it, honestly. It's also 12. I'm not. Like, oh, okay, I get it. So you're the asshole who's behind all this, and we took your house. So sorry.
So wait, you actually investigated your own house being taken over?
I
Like,
suppose that doesn't
you
feel
and you
very
kind of
good.
stupid or what?
Right?
He's not saying anything.
Well, it's a good thing the Red House should be stopping by soon then.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
I'm sure
Well,
they'll love to know the person they've been chasing is this person all along.
Let's just chuck him in one of the cages and wait for the rat folk to show up.
Go
If he
on.
don't want to talk,
I'm
we
gonna
won't talk.
say anything.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're chucking him in one of the cages.
Yep, Adrian, leave your spiders up here to guard them. Let's go about our day.
I have them wet them up and I tell them to guard.
I've got nothing better to do for now.
Alright, hold on.
Okay.
Are you gonna stay up there as well, Rick?
I'll stay up there with the spiders and
Okay.
I'm
I
going
tell-
to...
Tadpole's just making food and we're just
That's
kill
right.
all the guy upstairs while she's just making hors d'oeuvres and stuff.
I'm
Pretty
going
much.
to go out and see if I can find or at least speed up the rat folk process. Like, get out there,
Sure.
we need to see them, or even just try and find them, go back to where
Well,
we
you
found
know, funny you should mention it, but shortly after you get him situated, there is another knock on the door.
Reg, get it.
Reg answers the door and then shouts upstairs that it's Joel.
Good timing. That's the person we wanted.
Let him in.
By the way, now that this sort of thing is out of the bag, Zoosh is pretty much staring daggers at Amelod and is doing most of what she can to get to him. If you are physically restraining her, she won't do anything. But unless you are physically restraining her, she is going to do her best to try to kill him.
I'll keep her push back and say, you get your chance. Let's just let the rat folk talk to him first as well.
With
You
knives.
can be the one to
yeah.
finish him, don't worry.
I'll do my best to keep him alive.
Sure, and as strong as she is not going to overpower her. You. So Chol comes in
Read him.
around this time. Guts, I believe, is still downstairs because she has not come up with everyone else. And goes, hello. This looks like a good time for a meeting. Where is everyone?
I'm sure Guts replies that we've taken someone that Troll might want to see upstairs.
Is Guts gone? Did I miss
Yeah,
Guts?
Laptop
Guts.
crash.
Laptop crash.
Oh, I missed. Okay, I'm sorry.
Then I had jumping down running. You hear me coming down after a few. Just the person I wanted to see. Remember the previous owners of this house and the chat we had when you hired us?
Yes.
It turns out AJ was not that council person, but Amalado Jorvin, the local guards captain. He came in, gave us some bad looks, and we read his mind. He is tied up in the attic now.
All right.
Well, just saying. In case you want to help us with the person kidnapping, killing, and murdering slaves and all that jazz. Plus, I'm sure you can help him get some more information out of those ogres and stuff like that, who else he's working with. I'm sure you'd love to know that. Any other nefarious ties he has, you can exploit.
Well, the ogres are more the ones that we had the issue with, and they've been taken care of in the meanwhile.
So was one of the business partners, though, you know what I mean?
Indeed. That might be some more information for your other friend.
Fair enough. On another note, you got a way of getting rid of a dirty guard captain?
Well, yes, we could.
Because he's currently, he's been trying to break in the entire time we've been gone. Reg's been keeping them out. I guess the old man we hired was in league with.
Well, I think we could probably come to an arrangement with that information. You said he is indisposed of right now.
He is locked up, tied up, webbed up, and in a cage.
All right. Well, I don't believe it's very pressing anymore. I suppose we should go on with the rest of our business, and
Fair enough.
then we can decide what to do about him in the meantime.
But yes, the dining room is on the left. I'll go grab everybody.
Sure. Round everyone up if you would.
Click,
And
click, click.
Of course, he
Tadpole, set the dining room table. We have some more visitors.
Oh, great. Pull out the fine china that I stole in my bag of holding.
And you see Chol, and he, hello, how are you doing? No issues here? And he sort of gestures to the side of his face, where you have your brand.
Tadpole?
What's that?
He's talking to you.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
He asks if you have any issues, basically with your branding. And
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I hate it. I want it off.
I can certainly understand that, but it's more...
No, you can't. Well, does he have a brand?
He does not.
Well, then you can't understand it, so shut up.
I suppose so. However, it
And
could
look
have been much worse.
How could it be worse?
Well, you could be more of a slave in the traditional sense, rather than one with just a mark of a slave.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Now, you wouldn't by happen to know a way to get rid of this stupid thing, would you?
His eyes narrow, and he sort of looks at you, and he goes, "No, I don't. Nor would I wish to know one."
I'm going to do an insight. Does he actually... Do I believe him? Let me see here.
You do. He does
Okay,
not. He's basically a slaver by trade. He wouldn't have any profit if...
Excuse me, Mr. Slaver. Can you free me from slavery?
Yeah.
Okay, so he doesn't know a way of getting rid of it. Okay, that's all I need to know.
I mean, realistically, I'm sure if we came, were you there for the gist of what the rat folk are? the were rats undergone a ritual. They're were people now. They're rat people now, but they have, instead of immunity to weapons, they have regeneration powers.
No, I don't think he was.
Skarg ripped his eye out several times a day as a punishment, basically.
Basically, you know, they're were-rats, but they're were-rats plus. They don't have the traditional lycanthropy. Instead, they have a magical altered variation of it. Not super relevant in the moment, honestly.
Well, just saying, get a real rat, probably lose the scar. Or, you know, just become a weird person. You turn into a person instead of a kobold every month.
Rick, are you staying upstairs?
Has anyone actually mentioned that they're here and
Yeah, I would have
come down?
got
Yeah, I imagine there'd have been some shouting and whatnot.
Oh yeah, then yeah, I would.
The spiders are told to go. Make sure Zush is down here.
Zush was in the kitchen.
Good. Don't make her in the dining room. Zush, get down here.
Okay. So he comes to talk to you. He's all right. I suppose we should get started. Is this pretty much everyone? And everyone's pretty much at the table. As I mentioned before, we're going to be looking at more of a partnership type deal. We understand the benefits that you bring to a party like that, and we wish to capitalize on it, but you understand how things go. We're still a little wary of working with you. Our relationship is young, basically. The ways this would work, for the most part, is that you should think of us more as investors. We'll upfront costs, getting a plot of land. We'll let you have some of our manpower. In return, we will get our costs covered with anything that you may make, and then a percentage of the profits on top of that. Of course, as you get more and more money, you have to front less and less of it, and eventually you'll only be looking at the profit sharing. Are there questions?
Not really. I mean, as long as it's beneficial for everyone involved, us and you.
With luck, hopefully it can be. Now, this will mean that, of course, not every venture is a profitable one. And should you all have a non-profitable venture, well, you will begin to accrue debt that will have to be paid off at some point. Now, we're not monsters as far as things go. So we won't be asking much. We're not looking to bind you into our service this way, but, you know, we will need to be paid at some point. We will officially be allies in the city, and we'll look after each other. When we have an issue that only you can solve, well, you can't refuse us, basically. And when you have an issue that only we can solve, well, we won't be able to refuse you either.
Like a guest in the attic.
Indeed.
Or like a brand on my face.
No.
That one, I'm afraid, is slightly out of our purview. We will not go against the wishes of the city. Are there questions or concerns, comments?
Well, with the starting of our partnership, I guess that would be the finishing of our contract for this month.
Indeed, and with that, I believe I owe you some money.
Yes?
And he takes, I forget how much it is actually, again, I don't...
That's like 1,400 or so, but I think we discussed bonuses and stuff due to the large inventory.
Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. It was a total of 1,200 Wait. 1,250, I believe, of which you've been paid half for.
We got the retainer, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you already were paid the retainer, I know.
50. Did we get half up front?
I believe so.
Janeon, do you know?
I thought we only got the
I thought
retainer.
we only got the retainer.
Yeah, we only got. I'm fairly certain we just got the retainer, and then because we didn't go on a shopping spree beforehand. But...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mo said he was new. It was our first time working with us, so he said he wouldn't do the half up front, I think.
All right. Well, then he pulls out the purse of the 1,250 and puts it on the table.
I'm adding that to a company balance.
You have basically the next month of what you're going to be doing. We will be sort of, don't take this the wrong way, but babysitting you. You've seen excuse me. Most of us that we work with, there are several more, but from our mischief, this is all. What we'll do is you can pick 3 of us to go with you. They'll act as more or less your advisors and all that, myself, of course, and Vex will not be included. However, we will be doing our best to get plots adjacent to yours, should you need any additional guidance or anything along that nature. Of course, we have no idea where we will be shifting to. These things are up in the air. You don't have to buy in beforehand. As you may know, I alluded to, we buy in the day of to sort of keep prices cheap. So don't be afraid that you'll be buying into a place where you cannot work.
All right.
Sounds good. Oh, we needed a way to be able to contact you easier than just looking around the city.
Oh, well, with our partnership, we can tell you where we are based. We, of course, do have a fixed location known to our friends, but quite secretive. And, of course, you'll need to keep that secret.
Indeed.
We have many eyes and ears on the ground, as it were. And he sort of chuckles. So we know when generally you're looking for someone, and then we pick an arbitrary place to meet them, send a representative out, yada, yada, yada. You all went through it before. But yes, we do in fact have a brick-and-mortar location, as it were. So, is everything pretty much in agreement?
I have no problem with it.
I believe so.
Good. So, he sort of stands up and he reaches his hand out to shake.
Shake his hand.
All right. Well, that's good. I suppose we should discuss a little bit about what will happen next shift. Well, as I mentioned, we'll be going out adjacent to wherever you are. We'll set you up with a plot of land, probably the same size as what we did, 20 miles by 20 miles or so. You've met our companions that work for us. We would like for you to take 3 of them with you, of your choice, of course. And then we have some hired hands that we'll let you go out with, of course, to do some more of the manual labor, as it were. We're not exactly skilled as it comes to gathering things, but we can do pretty much anything. It doesn't take much to fell a tree or anything of that nature. Of course, the most money comes from getting people, but that, of course, comes with its share of problems, and he sort of side-eyes you, Tadpole.
Yeah, whatever. Bite me.
I should have some extra hands in a short while. I suppose I finally figured out my trick of raising the dead. I can show it off now.
No.
Oh.
Not quite yet.
I want to be fancy. I want to have the boys.
No boys yet.
Lads.
No cracking open cold ones
Right?
on Saturday.
No boys back in town.
So I guess the next question is, who would you like to bring with you? Like, do you guys remember names, or do I need to go through names? And
We want
Kif, Skarg.
Who's the one with the pets?
those Kif.
all right, there's Locked, Carta,
Kif is
Kif, Kives, and Skarg. Really,
Was Kif the dancer?
Kif was the dancer.
yeah.
Kif
I
and
want
Kives?
Kives,
the
Kif,
one
Kives,
Kif-
and,
of course, was the Beastmaster type one.
Kif, Kives, and Skarg, because we all like Skarg.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking Kiss Cars.
Now, Skarg is a bit young, but enthusiastic. He has a lot of potential, but well, you've all
He
worked with
works
him
With
before.
us.
He tries.
Us.
Exactly. Well,
That's what I like about it. He's got gumption.
I have no problems with that. Kives may be a little distracted. He was working with the beasts that pull their face back, and so likely he'll be doing that as well while he's out.
Oh, the dogs.
Tell him to bring
Hyena.
them with us. The cream.
Right, likely he would. I just wish for you to be aware of it. He may not be at full effectiveness.
That's okay as long as he's around.
They're just meant to observe us, aren't they?
Well, no, they'd be
help us.
helping you. Yes, they would be working while they're going out.
Ah, well. I suppose. Isn't that his job? To be taming?
Yes, that's mostly what he does. Yes. All right. Well, we'll have a few carts for you as well, and again, we'll see what we can get as we scry, and price tags and figures will be determined the day of, when we know what it costs us further. We wouldn't want to overcharge you for no reason.
Sounds good.
Do you think there's anything that you need from us?
Besides the guest, and maybe just have someone stop by now and then, see if no one's building the place down.
Sure, we can do that. And, well, I'll have to talk with some of my own. We'll figure something out.
You wouldn't have a small size, like, set of plate armor, would you?
Small size? No, not something we typically keep with us. We could probably find one for you.
I
Well,
can
if
make
you
you
find
one.
a good priced one.
I have
Good.
a perfectly good blacksmith right here, Janeon.
So, amongst other things, you will need to take care of all of these little things. Bedding for the folks. Of course, we can do them to an extent, but you'll need to be taking care of food, taking care of water, all that sort of things, which will probably involve contracting a mage of some sort, unless you wish to take care of it yourself.
If we provided some of the money for that, would you be able to do the look?
We can work as an in-between, yes.
Are we willing to put some of the party money on water towards, well, water and bedding and getting things for the people?
What would have to.
If you want to feed them.
Yeah.
We'll need a druid probably, and how much of those, and then just a mage to make water besides me. I do have an invention that could help us, but I don't have time to finish it, I think. I wanted to make it modified decanter similar to that tablet we found. Basically, I just wanted to have a flow button as well as a shoot you with geyser button.
All right, so is there anything else that we can think of that we would like to ask? And we will have some more time if we think of something in the intervening bit. But
I don't suppose partnership allows us to swap some magical notes by chance?
no, not really.
Shopping. Yeah, probably it for now. I'm sure we'll think of something.
Okay. So with that, he bids good day. He says that someone will be by fairly shortly to help deal with your little problem upstairs.
In the meantime, I'll be entertaining him with my crowbar.
Take Zush with you then.
And
do you need the person? Do you just need a body?
let me get perception checks from everyone.
Oh God.
And I will roll one for guts.
$16, and I got a
Guts got a
20.
5. A 20? Yeah. At some point, you noticed Zush attempting to slip out of the room.
Oh, it was Zush that was sneaking.
Zersh, we'll get to it in a second. Patrol is a body, okay? I'm mostly worried about the fallout with the guard going missing. He was the one that kidnapped, or the person in charge of the one that kidnapped and tried to kill Zersh.
And with that and catching people, he does head off on his own. What we are going to be doing now is we are going to level up.
Did he say we could kill them?
He didn't really say.
Damn it.
Any luck on the quarterstaff that can be used as a
I want to check one thing real quick.
Okay.
On that note, I actually was thinking of making you a magical quarterstaff.
Well, I normally don't use it because I want to be able to get sneak attack.
But, yeah. On that note, mine might help you with that because I have this collapsible pole I was thinking of modifying. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a 1-foot stick and go up to a 10-foot pole. I'm thinking of making it adjustable and maybe having it have a broom attachment. You know what I mean? Get those high places finally and beat people to death with it.
Well, currently I use my broom as my quarterstaff.
That's what I'm saying. We can have it like transform maybe a little bit, like a spectral broom kind of thing. Whenever the hell magic works, and it can change, lengths. Xanathos is nice items.
Yeah.
I get my animate dead spell now for free, and I need to pick 2 level 3 spell. I think I should pick sending just for the sake of it, guys. I need to take counter spell because we're level 3 mages now. I do want to spend some money buying some spells at the very Leoman's Tiny Hut. What other rituals are there? Leoman's Tiny Hut, maybe water breathing if we all need to swim. There's no other big rituals in 2nd level really that we would use.
Grim, there's another thing that I would love to see if I could find. Some types of sunglasses that would allow me to not be blinded in direct sun.
You could find that without much trouble. They
cool.
would be more fragile.
Well, then I'm going to get like 10 of them. So how much are they a piece?
Look, I mean, they're still fairly cheap. They're like $2 each. I mean, it's just
All right.
smoked glass,
Okay, but it will allow me to not be at disadvantage in direct sunlight then.
Correct.
All right, cool.
Like welding goggles or something.
All right. Well, then I'll just get 5 of them then.
Oh.
Oh yeah, we have to roll for health. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And they.
Oh. That's a rough one.
Yep.
That's a very rough one.
Grim,
So can someone make me +1 plate armor?
I can make you plate armor after we level up. It'd be a perfect fit when we take time to enchant. I'm saying don't worry about armor because in one level I'm taking fabricate. I am proficient in blacksmithing tools. I can do basic leather work, which is why I wanted it. I can make you a plate armor like staff, literally.
Remember when you were a necromancer and not a equipment wizard?
No, I'm doing both. That way I can give all my skeletons nice chainmail. All the zombies get plate armor.
Well,
Okay. Hit.
as it is, without the plate armor, I've got 20 AC.
Oh, I made Rick's armor. On that note, Tadpole, I need to make you some studded leather at some point.
No. I have to. I'm unarmored.
Oh right, I forgot.
He's a
Monk.
monk.
I'm a monk.
Monk's OP.
That's a good roll.
That's
I
a very
forgot
good
to
roll.
Hold on. Hit dice, go. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
I'm at 40 now.
Actually,
I'm so
that's
weak.
not very good, is it?
Now I get 2 attacks.
That's
Woohoo.
basically one below max.
I mean, I'm kind of happy with how much health I got off of that roll because now my maximum health is 69. Nice.
Nice.
Rem, I need a
No.
Kruthic token and I need a blank token sheet.
But yes, I've got an AC of 20.
I need to make some magic armor I can wear as robes or something. I'm taking what I take. I'm taking sending and I'm taking counterspell. I want party funds to buy Liam and Hut.
It's just a tiny hut.
All right, cool. I get stunning strike. Nice.
Oh, I wanted to take speed with data because Grim said I could take it. Shit. Counterspell is more important.
You're
Yes, let me
taking
go on a spending spree a little bit, maybe.
counterspell over?
So how much was it to enchant weapons and stuff? Like to get a +1 on a
Common
weapon?
items is like 500 gold, I think, something like that. I have to check Xanathos.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you're looking to enchant. Like, very cheap, simple weapons obviously are cheaper.
And
You know,
That
you can get a
boomerang.
dagger around 300s. Dagger's a bit more exotic. Excuse me, a boomerang is a bit more exotic.
Damn it. What about my red beard then?
I also want to find a price of a +1 short sword.
Okay.
A few hundred gold if we're going Xanathos randomly. This is +1.
Yeah.
You can easily afford it. But I need
Really, there's not a lot of difference between the dagger and the short sword +1, so 300 gold, no problem. I can do you a boomerang at 350 as well for +1. Not an issue. A rapier, we can do 400.
Alright.
Another note, to make an uncommon magic item, it takes 2 weeks and 200 gold. Like, we're gonna have to plan downtime ahead with the Red House at some point. I'm just saying we just need time to upgrade our gear. I'm sure they'll be fine. We can just do some odd jobs around the city. I do have some plans I want to make, like the Canto of Endless Water will give us, endless water. We'll be fine. We can make a pool of water like the lizard folk did if I make it able to flow continuously, which I don't think is going to be an issue unless Grid makes it one. Considering it does it anyways, it just doesn't have the feature to, which I think is stupid. You know, like, it's endless. I can shoot people with it. Why can't I just have it make a river? Come on. And then I want to replicate Rick's bowl into a pot. You feel me?
My bowl of soups.
Yeah, so we can make it a pot of soups, and we can just use the decanter of endless water for endless food.
Oh, yeah?
Remind me, I want to cast Identify in that bowl so I know how it works, so I can make it.
Again, sort of same price, 300.
Okay.
Short bow is basically wood.
How much for me to grab the spells I want to grab?
You gotta list them again, what you want. Like, write them down so I can see them. And
What do you
see their
use
levels.
anyway? Level 3 spells.
Level 3 spells?
I might get 2. I need to check the list of whatever you guys want me to buy. Are going to be party or things to help us fight?
If you're looking at level 3 spells, you are looking at about 450 per spell.
Are you guys okay with me spending 900 gold?
Long as I can upgrade my rapier and boomerang as well, since I'm not getting armor.
900s. Let's. Tadpole, you're paying for your own stuff since you're rich, independently, I assume.
Yes, but you would not know that.
Tadpole just stole all this stuff and we're worried about it. Tadpole just shows up to these dice, finds all these new weapons. Who did you rob? We have to kill them.
I'm just
Smart.
a poor
To be
little
fair,
kobold.
Tadpole also has a bag of holding. For all that you would know is that she had this stuff all along.
She's been skipping out on us. Yeah, that's fine. How much for your stuff, Janeon? I'll add it to mine.
750.
Did we find out about the quarterstaff, Grim?
Oh, yes, 300 as well.
No, but one that can be
Oh,
used
okay,
as
okay,
a...
right. Well, there was a couple of ways that we could go with it.
If
You know, because you can get whatever you want. One idea that I had in my head was we can do just a quarterstaff, or we could do something more exotic, like a flint bar or something like that. You know, a flint bar is basically like a 3-section staff that also can entangle folks.
is it can be used as a
Yes,
monk weapon?
for all... yeah, it's still like a simple monk type weapon. It never really translated super well into like 5th edition.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, is there just a straight quarterstaff that I can use as a broom? Because I actually, if somebody takes away my weapons, they usually wouldn't take away my broom.
I don't have a lot of
If not,
problem
that's
doing
fine.
that. Something with like a removable head or something, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to call that a +1 broom.
Okay.
Out of just question, how much would a bag of holding be?
Bag of holdings, I never remember if they're uncommon or rare.
Uncommon.
They're uncommon, you're looking about 500.
Can I get one, guys, to put my skeletons in? And all the bodies we kill? And all the other stuff?
That's 1,200 already. 1,300 already.
Money is easy come, easy go with you
Yeah, we
guys.
know it's 16. You said you spent 750. Mine's
Yeah.
900 for the 2 spells. That's 1650. That would be 2150. But mind you, we have funding to buy a plow. We'll probably be making a decent profit unless we get a barren desert. Even then, we can just load the carts up with rocks.
Yeah, but we also want to be able to put into that, and we have to be able to contract food and
This will
water
all
and
help us in
all
the
that
long.
stuff.
You have to spend money to make money.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Plus, it's only 2100. We have 11k at the moment.
Yeah. No one else is really
Plus,
commenting either.
level 7, we'll be making bank on premium smith goods.
I have no real problem with.
I'm gonna subtract it. Get myself back holding.
Wait, are you 7 or 6?
What?
You should level 7 or 6. You guys should just be level 6.
Level 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're getting
Oh,
level
okay. I
6.
thought somebody just said level 7.
No.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay, so I bought 4 + 1 weapons then. So that is 1,200 gold. Okay.
Of your own private stash.
Yes.
Okay.
186, 186.
I want +1 plate armor.
That's at least like $2,000, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's times 3. That's at least like that's all of our money probably.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not meaning out of that. I'm just meaning in general. That would put my AC to 20.
Oh, again, remember
To
get
think, you guys didn't even worry
Oh,
about the.
that would be a good thing. Is there like a ring of defense or something that would increase my AC?
Yes, they
Ring
can
of
do
defense,
protection
ion
rings.
stone, or
The rat folk happen to sell rings of shielding, which are basically magical items that have a use of the shield spell. They'll sell those fairly cheap to you.
no, I want to get something that will raise my AC normally.
Okay.
Like close to displacement would be wonderful.
Is I want you to, and this is more sort of in your own time, is come up with a wish list, and I can give you prices for all the things specifically and send them, and then you can determine whether you wish to buy it or not, like right there and then, rather than having to, hurriedly rush through, look up things, and assign their own prices,
Javelin's uncommon. The scimitar is very rare.
Yeah, so I'll just send it to you in.
Yeah, you can just post it on the Discord.
Sure, okay, we'll do.
If the javelin's uncommon, the scimitar would be more than we have. I'm pretty sure it's very rare. Just saying.
It is too.
You see me rush up into the room, come back down in a minute with 2 boys. Did our truth get delivered yet?
Then I'm good.
Those are the only 2 things that I want.
One of those are both expensive, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
They're not cheap.
I can make half this shit if you give me time, honestly.
But again, things can be procured as long as you're willing to pay to procure them.
Well, even if I can just find where they are and then, hey, Tadpole,
All right.
go pay this building a visit.
So we're going to be sort of retconning our shopping trip of what we need, right? But I would like to move on because we do still have, another 30 minutes or so of session left.
Good.
So
Yeah,
Good.
Got my boys.
no, that was definitely not for now.
yeah. But
But I am going to go chuck on the jug.
The what?
My jug. Kettle.
Oh, sure. Is that what you guys call it? So of course that also comes with the question, is there anything last minute, we're doing the shopping, but is there anything like big and overarching that we think that we need for our expedition before we go out? And frankly, I'm assuming it's a no, but you gotta ask.
Yeah, nope.
No, we're good. I just make sure I get my hive load.
Right. And you have a very big one too.
Plus 6 to my skeletons.
So we're going to be skipping ahead, of course, and we're doing shopping later, off screen, all that kind of jazz. But we're getting ready to shift now. It's sort of a big hullabaloo. As a group, typically we've moved towards one of the towards the closest of the sanctuaries, and I presume that now is no different. As it gets closer and closer to the day of the shift, there are these loud klaxons which go off, incredibly loud. They're meant to be heard from miles and miles away. There's a warning klaxon before it goes off, and when it happens, everyone pretty much knows that it's time to do whatever you can to cover your ears. Things are about to get very loud, and these loud booming just alarms are just going off constantly. The city is somewhat of a miserable place to be in at this point in time, to be honest with you. It's loud, it's annoying, but there's also this buzz of excitement. Something new is going to be happening. This last stop was profitable for the city, in a good way. Some of the stops before have been very lacking in resources. The stop before was to a desert. Before that was to sort of a strange forest without much life in it. But now this has been to, quote unquote, a proper plain. There's been cities, there's been slaves, there's been food, there's agriculture. People are finally turning their attitudes around now in the city. There's not this time of hate anymore. Now it's a celebration. It's been a fantastic time. The end of a drought, if you will. Everything's been dry, everything's been baking, but now it's raining, metaphorically. So everyone is quite well. Spirits are looking up. And my daughter's coming in. Hold on. Hey, kiddo.
Daddy, can I play in the tub and we made bath bombs?
Not yet, but you can take a bath tonight. How about that?
Can you play in the...
Earlier. Yeah. Well, we'll take a bath, quote unquote. All right. I'm almost done.
Wait, Daddy, can I finish talking? How about...
Not right now. Okay, you got to give me 30 minutes, then I'm done. Are you all right? Okay. Sorry about that. But again, this is a big change to the city. People are eating. They're not giving everyone the stink eye as they're walking back. Before, tempers were starting to definitely flare inside the city. But now there's an influx of food. There happened to be an influx of slaves as well. And while some people are a bit annoyed at that, for the most part, people are pretty happy. And then the city shifts. An earthquake happens to where you are. The masses of people are there inside the sanctuary. We've all been through it before. Well, not all of us, but most of us. And it's loud, it's booming, and then it's over before you realize it even started to happen. And the city sort of levels off, and then you get a feeling in your stomach of lurching.
Oh, we're not fucking falling again, are we?
Not quite. But it's a very soft thing. And it's only for a few feet. It's like you were trying to take a step and you thought the step was much higher than it was. So you step down and you step much lower and everyone sort of stumbles. And then there's a big sort of wet sound that's super loud. Now, there's a lot of displacement sounds that happen when the city first shifts. But this one is louder than most. And it's a lot wetter than most.
Oh. I want to go buy water breathing before we leave. Thank you.
It's pretty overcast where you are.
Did this just turn into Venice?
Is it like more of a swamp, or are we in the middle of the...
We're not quite sure yet. We would have to go along the walls and to find out. Or...
Send Cox up.
Huh?
I send the owl into the sky.
So you send him out and about, looking for various things. It takes him a little while to get there and to get back. In the meantime, do you meet up with the rat folk?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Did they take care of the dude yet?
No. Right now, he's still sort of...
Starving.
rotting in your prison.
They didn't come back by the end of the week.
No, they haven't been back yet.
No guards have stopped by in a week.
No, that's the interesting one. Is that no guards have stopped by either.
He did say that people would know where he is, but he never said that guards would know where he is.
He never said anyone would care. He just said,
I mean, to be fair, he did.
Yeah, in all fairness, no one may care.
Like, shit, we probably just opened up. Whoever was underneath him's probably just thought, hey, sweet, promotion.
So you meet up with the rat folk.
Die.
And they have some sort of a complex set up, which I don't have fully mapped out. So we're not going to change to that map. Even though we had 2 weeks to do so. And there's sort of a central building that almost looks like a temple. You're ushered inside. You see some familiar faces. They're pretty much ready to go. There are carts there with mules laden with all these sorts of odds and ends. And there's Chol and another rat that you don't recognize, hooded and robed. He does his best to try to cover his face, but you know that he's old, like incredibly old. And he glances up as you come in. He appears to be over a dais, casting some sort of magical spell. And it's taking all of his concentration. You're waved in and you're told to take a seat on the floor. And it's a bit odd. Because instead of like a normal wooden floor that most of the city tends to make up, it's just sort of a hard-packed dirt inside these buildings. And Chol whispers to you and he says, it'll be a few moments. We're trying to find signs of life in the city. In the plain, otherwise. And then it'll be just a quick jaunt to the seat of the Senate, and then we'll be ready to go. Any questions before we head out?
Can
what
you
kind
only
of lands out there?
Well, we're not entirely sure. None of our scouts have returned yet, but you likely heard it. Things are wet.
Water.
And about that time, Quirks the Owl returns.
The owl wackles in.
Slightly damp. It's swampland.
Okay, yeah, it's it's swamp according to the owl.
Lots and lots of swampland. Lush, vibrant, very wet.
Except for the druids, I guess, but it's all swampland around here.
And sure enough, the older rat sort of nods. There's not a lot of life around here.
I'm in the middle of a game.
I don't think we'll be getting a lot of our usual trade. We'll probably want to hire some experts of things. There are people out there, but no large cities or anything like that. It seems mostly homesteads, things of that nature. People. We'll need to be hiring some druids, some experts. I reckon that our money is going to be coming from plants. Things that you'd normally find from swamp. Creatures, poisons, this kind of thing. We'll be going out far, but I don't think those carts are going to be making it. We'll just be using hand carts for this one. No real animals. They just slow us down way too much. Yeah, I think that's what we'll be doing. Chol. And then he gestures him over, though. They talk for a while. And then they go out. Stay here for a moment. We'll see what we can do about hiring an expert. I think with things the way they are, we'll be giving you about 10 people. That way, if things do turn out to be more of a bust, well, it won't set you back too far in debt. How does that sound?
Sounds good. At least we can get some trees down, worst comes to worst.
We'll have our own boys as well.
AFK phone call.
Sure.
Did I ever get my crew thick?
Did you need another sheet?
No, I'm talking about did they ever deliver it?
Oh, yes, they would.
No, I don't have a sheet for it.
I'm
though.
sorry. But yes, they would have delivered it. But again, we can retcon that.
Okay, then outside is parked an undead crew thick in mint condition.
Probably you would have to keep it with the rat folk, because I don't think you got anywhere big enough to store it.
I suppose. I mean, I could just keep it turned off until we need it.
Okay, I'm back.
Do
you mind if I ask, so what is our goal here? We're supposed to just bring in as much loot?
Basically.
Yes.
Food?
The city has to survive. That's our main goal. Whatever it is that you think that the city might need is what you're going out to gather.
So why are you providing us with people then? If we have to pay for the people, why do we even take the people? Why don't we just use just our own? Is there a certain quota that we have to meet?
No, there's
Because
not a quota exactly, but
cutting trees.
we're heading out several days' journey from here, and
Yeah, so my question to my compatriots here is, why do we want to incur the debt for bringing extra people if there's no quota? Let's not incur the debt of bringing extra people. Let's just go with ourselves. Bring back what we can.
Or we could...
Because still with more people, we can still get more profit if we find things of worth.
Tadpole, can you even lift an axe to cut a tree down?
No, but you guys can.
Yeah, and so can they, which frees us up to do things like kill big bugs, hunt meats, the fun stuff.
No,
Or
so
even
someone has
maybe
to protect
enslave
the
big
place.
bugs to take back.
Okay, well, you've done this longer than I have, so I'll go with you on this one. Just asking. Just want to get a clarification is all.
all right.
Overhead. You guys.
So they've gone out to purchase the land, to hire an expert. What we're going to do is we're going to end the episode now. I'd like everybody to think about if there's anything specific that they might need for our environment.
I have one question before we go.
Yeah.
Can I get in contact with Scav at all? I have sending now.
You could probably get into contact with Scav.
I shall be back. My jack's boiling.
Totally send then.
Saying what?
It's like, hey, how's the city life? You want a job? How you doing?
She would not be interested in a job.
You want to hang out? I do want to ask her if she's able to regenerate limbs and stuff at all.
Okay, well, you're asking a whole lot. You need to a bit more concise.
25 words. Hey, how's it going? You free? You want to catch up? Let me count that. 25.
I mean...
How's it going? Etc. Are you able to regenerate limbs and stuff by chance? You wanted me to talk in crab? Send.
Fine. I'm a spirit. Of course. Maybe?
No, I'm like, is she able to Wait, okay. Maybe. Yeah. Then I'll ask her if she can stop by before we leave, and if she could heal Reg. He needs his pincers.
Okay. All right, but I think right there is where we are going to call an end to this session. So, pretty good one. Things happened that, again, I didn't really intend. We spent a lot longer shopping than I thought we would, and still have more shopping to do. But all in all, I think it went pretty well. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is the point where we all say goodbye. I hope you all have a great one, and bye-bye!